Save the date if you not fake. HJ got a plate and a hot take. They gon' get you moving right. These goofy types keeping unks goofy tight. Look, let's get it lit like a Lucy, aight? Show the world what we can build when the crew unite. And while these frauds out finessing your protests, I'm in the gulags playing chess with the Hoteps. The Hoteps been told you, don't sweat, bruh, I ain't gonna hold you. Keep receipts for the things that they told you. Ears to the street, they got secrets to go through. The Hoteps been told you, don't sweat, bruh, I ain't gonna hold you. Keep receipts for the things that they told you. Ears to the street, they got secrets to go through. Hotep and build, y'all know the deal. We go in for real, it ain't got no chill. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Hotep and build, y'all know the deal. We go in for real, it ain't got no chill. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Save the date if you not fake. HJ got a plate and a hot take. They gon' get you moving right. These goofy types keeping unks goofy tight. Look, let's get it lit like a Lucy, aight? Show the world what we can build when the crew unite. And while these frauds out finessing your protests, I'm in the gulags playing chess with the Hoteps. The Hoteps been told you, don't sweat, bruh, I ain't gonna hold you. Keep receipts for the things that they told you. Ears to the street, they got secrets to go through. The Hoteps been told you, don't sweat, bruh, I ain't gonna hold you. Keep receipts for the things that they told you. Ears to the street, they got secrets to go through. Hotep and build, y'all know the deal. We go in for real, it ain't got no chill. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Hotep and build, y'all know the deal. We go in for real, it ain't got no chill. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Save the date if you not fake. HJ got a plate and a hot take. They gon' get you moving right. These goofy types keeping unks goofy tight. Look, let's get it lit like a Lucy, aight? Show the world what we can build when the crew unite. And while these frauds out finessing your protests, I'm in the gulags playing chess with the Hoteps. The Hoteps been told you, don't sweat, bruh, I ain't gonna hold you. Keep receipts for the things that they told you. Ears to the street, they got secrets to go through. The Hoteps been told you, don't sweat, bruh, I ain't gonna hold you. Keep receipts for the things that they told you. Ears to the street, they got secrets to go through. Hotep and build, y'all know the deal. We go in for real, it ain't got no chill. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Hotep and build, y'all know the deal. We go in for real, it ain't got no chill. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Save the date if you not fake. HJ got a plate and a hot take. They gon' get you moving right. These goofy types keeping unks goofy tight. Look, let's get it lit like a Lucy, aight? Show the world what we can build when the crew unite. And while these frauds out finessing your protests, I'm in the gulags playing chess with the Hoteps. The Hoteps been told you, don't sweat, bruh, I ain't gonna hold you. Keep receipts for the things that they told you. Ears to the street, they got secrets to go through. The Hoteps being told you. Don't sweat, bro, I ain't gonna hold you. Keep receipts for the things that they told you. Ears to the street, they got secrets to go through. Hotep and build, y'all know the deal. We go in for real, it ain't got no chill. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Hotep and build, y'all know the deal. We go in for real, it ain't got no chill. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip.
We live.
We live. What up, people? Welcome to episode 281 of what I think is the greatest podcast in the history of podcasts. It's the only podcast I watch. I'm not a black man from Exton, Pennsylvania, but I am a black man from Palmdale, California. I'm Patriot J, and I am honored to be co-hosting tonight's episode. Unc's out in Jamaica having a blast. What's going on, HJ?
Palmdale, what?
Palmdale, California, man. We got Afro Man and we got Joshua Trees.
Y'all probably got a lot of pogs out there too. That sound like y'all got a lot of fine white women.
Yeah. I will say we are the only conservative area in all of Los Angeles County.
Oh, really?
Yep.
You grew up in Palmdale?
Yeah, I grew up in Palmdale. I was born in Glendale, which is like more closer to downtown LA, but I was pretty much raised in Palmdale. I claim Palmdale. I hate when people from Palmdale are like, I'm from LA, because you're not from LA. It's like an hour and a half away.
Somebody said y'all Hoteps be towing the line. Talk about Unc's toe. It just sounds to me like you grew up very privileged, sir. Palmdale sounds like a privileged area.
I will tell you,
did you grow up white?
Yeah, man. My friend DC Capital came to my neighborhood one time, and he was like, damn, bro, this reminds me of pre-9/11 America. So, you know, I didn't have it too bad, is what I'll say.
One of them well-to-do Negroes.
You know.
Well, I'm glad you got some sense. You know.
Yeah.
How long have I've known you at least since you was in high school, right?
Yeah, man. I think like I found you guys online. I was probably like senior year of high school, first year of college, like 2014, 15.
Yeah. And what, you know, because, you know, it's real easy for a college kid to get lost in the sauce and end up in the wrong place in the political spectrum. What drew you to the Hoteps? What made you say, you know what, I kind of fucks with these guys? Is it because, and I also want to know, you know, is it something from your past that made you a Hotep, that made you say, aha, I remember this? Or was there awakening? What brought you to the Hotep side of things?
So I feel like I've kind of always been a Hotep, but I never really knew it. And I went to college and I did get lost in the sauce. Let me tell you this, man. I took, general education unit. So I took an English course, and it was called Africana Studies English. It was essentially like a CRT course, what people are talking about now. So I was reading like bell hooks and things like that. So that was my very first year in college. I'm bright-eyed. I'm like, oh, wow, college, this has to be right. So I came out of that semester. I was hating America, bro. It was they taught me to be down or to go against like the white supremacist, capitalist, patriarchal society that is America. So I bought into it. And then 2015 spring comes around, my second semester. This is it's going to be my first year voting. I just turned 18. So I'm getting involved in like the 2016 primary. And I'll say I always have been a Hotep because even when I was very young, I was politically active. And even when I was like, I guess, a Democrat, my dad was putting me on to things. Like he gave me a David Icke book, I think, when I was probably 12 years old. So I was always taught to just question authority, but I was still down with the Democrats because I feel like coming up, the Democrats were the anti-establishment party. I felt like they were the ones like going against Bush and fighting against the war and things like that. Whereas you look now, the party switched somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So 2015 happens. I take intro to logic, and that really opens me up to critical thinking for my first time, which is crazy because how can you go through elementary to high school and not take a critical thinking course? So that was my first time being introduced to logic. And I said, you know what? This was also like the first wave of BLM too.
Oh wow!
So there was a lot of things happening. There was like the BLM people, and they were saying, you know, get in your feelings. You're a victim. America hates you because you're black.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm taking intro to logic, and they're teaching me to be objective, not subjective. Don't be swayed by your emotions. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just do my research. And I think I was like my last year of high school, I guess, was kind of my spiritual awakening. So I was deep into spiritual Twitter.
Okay.
I don't know if I think I might have, it was like the 33rd Son dude. And then I think through him, I might have seen Shar, and then that might have led me to you. So all that's happening. And then you're like one of the only people at the time speaking out against BLM, calling out Sean King. I saw that as the alternative to BLM, and it was perfect. I've been down with the cause ever since.
So it is true that Hotep's been told you.
100%. Now
Man.
people will make jokes about Sean King all day, but it was not the cool thing to do in 2015.
It was not. It was not. I remember they came down on my neck. Every time I criticized Black Lives Matter, they was on my neck. I'm like, yo, this shit ain't real, bro. This not how real shit move, bro. And I didn't have any proof. I just knew that, you know, real revolutionary movements don't get logos on an NBA court.
Right. You're not doing deals with Wells Fargo.
Yo, DeRay was doing a speech, and you look behind him, it was sponsored by Wells Fargo. I said, yeah, this ain't the revolution.
Right. I think the thing that kind of caught me at first was because it was so very gay. Like all the leaders were gay. And then also my kind of transition away from the Democrats happened was because I felt like they were being too gay. I remember on college, and this is nothing against gay people or whatever, just the agenda.
Yeah.
During college, there's this thing called Transgender Visibility Week. This is like 2014, 2015. They have a week. And I didn't know about this, but I knew about this because the flags were all over my campus. They had signs everywhere. It was Tranny Week. And then February comes around. I'm like, where's the Black History flags? Where's our posters? What you gonna do for us? And they were silent. And so the Dems got a little bit too gay for me. And then I saw this BLM thing being very super gay. So I knew that was not for me.
You know, I got tipped off when it was Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner rolled around. I think she had just won Woman of the Year or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a comment. And when I made the comment, I was attacked by a bunch of people. So I just started going down the line and just looking at who I was attacked by. And it said BLM, 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 BLM. And it was black people, but every bio said BLM. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, why the fuck are niggas mad at me talking about a white woman or white man or whatever it is?
Mm-hmm.
I was really trying to figure out. So I was like, oh, there's a correlation between the rainbow and BLM. That was my first thing that tipped me off. And then I started doing my research. I was like, oh, this is a gay organization. Got it.
All
Makes
that
sense.
intersectionality that they talk about is really crazy. Because it's like, oh, well, if you pro-black, then you got to be pro this, that, and the third, because everything is intersected. Everything but white. You can't advocate for white people, but if it's not white, then it's fine.
On the topic of critical race theory, Because you said you studied some of that stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't called like CRT course, but looking back, it was CRT.
It was definitely CRT. Yeah. Because you're in legal, you're a lawyer, right?
Yep.
You represent people through Grace Legal Group.
Affirmative.
Based out in California, right?
Yep. Pretty much all across California. We get SoCal, NorCal.
But what? Hold on, the feed acting stupid. YouTube been acting like this all week.
Yeah, you paused for a second.
Did I pause?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think we back now. So you passed the bar, became an attorney, blah, 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 blah. So on the topic of critical race theory, I'm trying to figure out how feasible is reparations, like from a legal standpoint. Is this like a waste of time? And then I have a second part to this question too. But is this something that can actually be fought for? And if it is fought for, can it prove to be fruitful?
I'll say from a legal standpoint, it is something that it can be fought for, because the beauty of this country is you can fight for anything, and it would be lawful as long as it goes through the proper channels. So it can't end up a situation like Joe Biden's student debt reform, where he unilaterally does it and then the Supreme Court overrules it. It's got to be done through the legislature. So whether state legislatures want to adopt it first and then it makes its way through Congress, or people just put pressure on Congress itself to act. But the legislature can pretty much craft any laws that they want. And the constitutional basis for things relating to economic matters is a lot less stringent than when you're trying to regulate some sort of fundamental rights. So economic matters uses the rational basis test, which is pretty much, as long as there's a rational reason for it, then it's going to be constitutional. Whereas if you're trying to, let's say, make a law impacting someone's fundamental rights, then that would be looked at under the strict scrutiny test. But rational basis is pretty much just like you have to prove by any sort of measure that it's rational, which Congress can do.
You said Congress can't do?
No, they can do it.
Oh, they can.
And as long as they just back up a reason for it, it's pretty much going to pass the constitutional standard.
Of what you saw out there in the reparations conversation, is there any feasible argument?
I don't think the idea of giving money to Negroes is the best thing.
Okay.
I would like reparations to be talks of maybe, hey, let me be tax exempt for 10 to 20 years, or wipe out student debt, things like that. Something that is more tangible than just handing out dollars. Because when you print money, inflation is just going to keep rising. And we've seen that for the last 2 years. Yeah. But if you're actually trying to right a wrong, then give us some sort of tangible benefit that can make a lasting impact on generations to come.
Yeah, I agree with that. Last question on this topic. I know that Barclays, AIG, and a bunch of other banks and insurance companies have admitted to their role in slavery. Is there any legal way that we can sue these corporations, or is it past the statute of limitations or something like that? Because we got them on record apologizing.
Right. Off rip, I'm thinking that it'd be a bit too old to sue, because anybody who might have been impacted by it personally is probably long gone. But, these institutions are woke. We can put pressure on these woke institutions to do something. Maybe say, hey, no bank fees for niggas, or like we're gonna loan you money at a very low interest rate and things like that. That would be more tangible.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hey,
but
listen,
while we're on the CRT thing, I will say I hold a very unpopular opinion on CRT. I don't think it should be banned. You got conservatives saying, ban CRT from school. I just look at it as an attack on speech. If you don't like the ideas, present your alternatives. You shouldn't go out and be a crusade against free speech, essentially.
All right, when you say schools, you're talking about K through 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I don't think it should be mandated, but if kids in like high school want to learn about these things, they should be able to take an elective.
An elective, I agree with. So it's two ways to look at it, right? One is from your own worthless opinion, right? And the other one is from a legal standpoint and a legal precedent, right? We do not want to set a precedent where we're coming in and banning books and stuff like that. You definitely don't want to do that. However, some of this material is not kid appropriate. Like, child rape. Like, this is the stuff that's in these books that they're trying to shoehorn into critical race theory.
Yeah, but those things, I think if they're in there, they should be attacked through like obscenity laws.
Correct.
Because it's totally fine to ban porn from schools.
Right.
So if that's the case, then we need to do it through that way, not like you said, just an outright ban on speech, because we'll never know if that can be used against us.
Yes, correct. I like that. Through obscenity laws. That's the way we need to look at some of this material, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, why would you even want kids to read this stuff? This stuff can like mess you up mentally. For me personally, it's just that critical race theory just seems like a horror flick. It's like, oh, look, how the white man kicked your ass, black man. Oh, look, another book about how the white man kicked your ass, black man.
Right.
And it's just like, y'all got anything else to read in here? Can I get a copy of the 48 Laws of Power?
They gonna slander you on Black Twitter for that. That's all you niggas read. 48 Laws of Power.
That's the only book a nigga need. 48 Laws of Power is more important than a critical race theory course.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I mean, so many studies can be branched off of that book. Did you read it?
I haven't read it all the way. I got it, and I'll be perusing through it. I got it last year. My dad gave it to me as a gift.
It's a wonderful history book. I love history, and the book basically just runs through a bunch of different examples throughout history. It's really all it is. It's just a history book, and from there it can springboard a whole lot of different research. But critical race theory to me, I don't like it in public schools. I gotta be honest with you. I don't like it. It's like telling your enemy to teach you your story.
Word.
It's like white
but
man.
I guess that's kind of all history in general.
Not really, because Hoteps, we got our own version of history.
Right, but I mean, like history in school, like the textbook history. Yeah.
Yes, correct, exactly. Yeah. So if you want to teach a fabricated version of history, your history, the white man's history, European history, and all that. If you want to teach that shit to everybody, so be it, right? But Indians aren't saying like, yo, I need to learn about Ganesh in school. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
They get together and they talk about Ganesh and, Kali Yuga and all of that on their own.
Mm-hmm.
The critical race theory in public schools is inhibiting black children from learning. Because if the white man said, so I'm all for the white man banning critical race theory. It's a terrible precedent legally, but from a long-term view for black people, as a tactic, strategic move for black people, I think it's great because it's going to force us to say, well, if the white man won't teach us our history, we got to teach us our history. And it'll force us to go to black scholarship. And you remember Sa Neter? Oh man, Sa Neter, that was a crazy era. That was a crazy era. Shut up, your big ass, ugly ass foot. We gonna talk about your foot.
He said Sunday foot.
Sa Neter is a YouTube channel where all the Hoteps used to go and debate. So you had your Hebrew Israelites, you had your Kemetic folk, you had your Kemetic Christians, you know, your Moors, your Nuwapians, you had all of that stuff in there. Your Muslims, your what do they call it? Circle 7 Quran Negroes. That was from Noble Drew Ali. So we had all of that stuff. So, you know, when the white men don't supply you with something, you had to get it on your own. And I think anytime we rely on the system to teach us stuff, it's usually going to feed us poison.
Yeah, I'll give you that point of view 100%.
But it's going to be a terrible legal precedent.
Yeah, I don't trust Black scholarship to actually feed us what we need, because I feel like the white liberal will just come in, buy us off, and then we're in the same loop.
Yeah.
But those street teachers, like, they'll really give you game.
The street teachers is the real scholarship. These other motherfuckers is scholar shit, as Shaka would say.
Right.
But you're right. Somebody was talking earlier, and I was talking about how I don't make Black content, right? And you know, it's being Black gonna get Black people to watch the show. Like, I don't really have to try. Like,
that's crazy.
Yo, people be like, how come you don't make Black content? I'm like, a shit ton of my viewers are Black. Like,
right. Like, what do they want you to talk about? What is Black content?
What is Black content? So somebody said, I think it was Carlos Africa, he said Black content is when you pander to Black people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So that's what a Black scholar would do, right? A Black scholar would go, hey, y'all, the white man bad, and we was oppressed, and we was slaves. And, you know, it would give you that whole fake revolutionary talk, instead of telling you, you know, how to provide some strength and, you know, how to really come
man,
up.
I'll take we was kings over we is oppressed any day of the week.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. This shit's embarrassing. You walk out in the public and it's just like, oh, you were slaves? No, we was no, yeah, we were slaves. Like, I got to go along with this shit.
Right.
It's not the narrative I would have set up for my people. Imagine you got a child who comes to this world and it's like you could teach him anything, you know? Like, I always think about, like, if you're a native population, right? You're a native tribe, right? And the native tribe tells stories about the old world and, you know, the history of the tribe. Imagine the history of the tribe every year they get together and talk about how they got their ass beat. Like,
right. At a certain point, just make some shit up, man. You gotta inspire these people.
Tell these motherfuckers we used to have giants and shit or something. Right. Make something up, inspire. This is what I'm saying. At least fucking say something inspirational. But to a child, telling him that he was a slave is not inspirational at all, yo. That's all.
Right. It just makes you want to say, all right, well, forget that. Like, I'm not gonna honor any of my heritage. We was slaves.
Right. It just makes you say, fuck it. Anyway, all right. Let's get into the Black Twitter report, sponsored by NerdNash, nerdnash.com. Unk in the chat, he said his flight delayed. Oh, he must have got that beef patty on the way to the airport. Hold on, let me cover these super chats. Who we got here? Boris Kofifiovich. Thank you for the super chat, man. I think you got one thing wrong, HJ. The comment thread tying all the alphabets, BLM, Occupy, Green Party, etc., and infinitum is the Bolshevik training, a Bolshevik money bag fund sources. Boris BTY. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Troublemaker Joan, a coincidence that CBDC push aligns with 33 tricky. Oh, here he go. 33 trillion. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah. Just saying, yo. Looking forward to Hotep court prosecuting Unk and his inability to be on vacation and continuously grifting. Tell me about it. Is that foot in the thumbnail real? Wait, we gonna get to that. Jabari Judy said the real question is, when is Patriot Jane or Olivia going to jump the broom? Bryson beat y'all to it. Yeah, you was at Bryson wedding, right?
Yep. That was a real good time, man. It was a Hebrew wedding. I didn't know until I get there. Get this, man. This is something I talked to Bryson about. I don't even think he knew at the time. They had a Torah that came from the Holocaust.
Nigga, what?
Yeah, I was making jokes. I was making jokes to the audience like, oh yeah, this nigga done sold out. that's my guy,
wait a second. Because I think his wife is adopted, right?
Correct.
So her family's Jewish?
Maybe, but I also know
who's Hebrew?
I think Bryson may be like a practicing Hebrew / Messianic Jew. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not gonna quote that, but I know he's a Torah keeper, and I know that's like Hebrew something.
Word. Bryson trying to get in on my grift. I'm trying to become Jewish.
He did a real deal ceremony, man. It was like an hour, but the dopest part about the ceremony is at the end of it, he performed his song "Homemakers" and dedicated it to his wife. So that was real
dope.
nice.
That's dope. So it was a Hebrew wedding. What's different about a Hebrew wedding from a normal wedding? I'm sure there was a lot more money than a typical black wedding.
Well, first of all, earlier in the year, I went to a Nigerian wedding, and they got a part in the ceremony where they just shower the couple with wands like it's a strip club or something.
Yes, this is true.
That didn't happen at the Hebrew wedding. I'm thinking maybe some checks were written afterwards. But
usually
it was a
when
very
I go
long
to
ceremony.
a wedding and shit, niggas is asking me for money.
It was a pretty long ceremony. They do this kind of like act, like the bride coming out for the first time. They have this like horn sounding thing. The rabbi blows it. It's like,
oh, you had a rabbi there.
Yeah, bro. He had two of them on stage.
Did he have the curly things on the side of his head?
No, I think this one his hair was curly for sure, but he didn't have the ones coming down. He was a little older. I don't know if he had all that hair left.
Oh, okay. It wasn't orthodox.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just very ceremonious. And then he did the whole Mazel Tov thing and broke the glass at the end.
Oh shit. Yeah, they got Bryson.
Nah, but when I was talking to him, he was saying they did a rehearsal the night before. The rehearsal was like done in like 10 minutes, and all of the stuff that was on stage, he was kind of confused about because they might have snuck that in.
So they did a 10-minute rehearsal. The next day was an hour long. He like, wait, this shit wasn't here last night. Surprise, nigga. Right. That's how we do things.
Surprise, nigga. You sold out.
Gotcha, bitch. Damn. Oh my God, that's wild. Nice Jewish wedding, nice Hebrew wedding. Well, congrats to Bryson, man. Congrats to Bryson.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into the Black Twitter report. What is saying there?
We got Unk in Jamaica, Pink Forces.
Oh, let's bring this up. Yeah. Let's put this on the screen. This is just terrible. Oh my Lord. Y'all, when Unk come back, he going to court. Let me bring this up on the screen. Oh, excuse me. All right, here we go. Let's bring this up. All right, here we go. Bing bong. All right, let's go. Where is it now? No, not that one. We just made a new one. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Here we go. All right, so here go Unk. Y'all, look at Unk. Look at this fool. So, Patriot Day, right now we got on the screen is Unk with a pink, what is this, linen? This nigga think he got drip on.
Let me.
Do you see the picture there in the chat? He's standing next to the Jamaican flag that says "One Love." He got this jailhouse pose. Look like he just did a bid. And he got on Air Force Ones. These not even Air Force Ones. These are the black Air Forces. These the thug Air Forces. Now,
Right.
You know, the sad part is Unc don't know how to coordinate his colors. You know, one thing you don't do is you don't put pink with black. That's something you don't do. Now, I can see if you had some pink highlights. Like you needed to have pink shoelaces, pink soles, something in the shoe had to be pink for this to work. All black don't work. This is when you pull out your white slippers. Okay, this is when you pull out.
I think this would have been fire with like some sandals, maybe even some brown sandals.
He could have pulled the sandals out, but he could have did the white. He could have did the white Air Forces. This is what the white Air Forces. He don't got the white Air Forces. This is what I'm saying. He don't got no Chucks. He ain't got no Air Forces.
I'm on that black Air Force energy.
He could have even did Vans. He could have did a white pair of Vans. But we're not done with Unc. Once upon a time, Patriot J, Unc took me to court for putting my foot on the internet.
Uh-oh.
And this fool takes a week off and brings us this dinosaur of a foot. First of all, I want to know what this nipple is on the side of his foot. Did he get shot when he was in Germany? Do you have the picture of his foot? Do you see this? It's a titty on his foot.
I ain't going in on Unc's foot, man. I'm taking a spot.
Do you see the titty on his foot?
I am gonna ignore the foot and give the man points for the Yeezy slides. Those things are so comfortable. I got my pair on right now.
Those not Yeezys.
Nah, those gotta be Yeezy slides.
No, those
don't tell me Unc got the knockoffs.
Those is fleazies.
Damn.
Unc foot got the herpes. This nigga Unc got Flintstone feet.
Where's the full picture? Like,
it's in the chat. Look in the chat with me, you, and Nerd. I didn't even get to the toe yet.
Oh yeah, Ghost thinking.
Look at Unc's black ass leg. This is a black nigga. And then it just turns pink at the bottom. This is the ugliest foot I've ever seen in my life. We didn't even get to the toes yet. Look at that toe. Oh my God. Oh.
I love Unc, but it looked like he got a gout foot, man.
That nigga needs surgery on them toes. Unc, you gotta go see a doctor for real, yo. You gotta go see a doctor. I'm really concerned for your health after looking at these toenails, dog. He need a pedicure. He need a prescription and a pedicure. It's medicine you take for toes like that. Big Pharma got a pill for them toes, yo. And he had the nerve to talk about me. And this is his foot that he posts on the internet. This is terrible.
Looking at the whole photo, the pink shorts with like cheetah print is kind of questionable.
With the cheetah print?
Yeah, if you go to...
I didn't even get to that yet. We gonna go to that next. Thank you for reminding me. Don Day said them feet look like a burnt steak. Said he got the same feet from Saul.
Brody said end up like Deion Sanders.
Straight Yakub energy. He said Unc ankle got diabetes.
It's fucked up, chat. That is fucked up.
Yo, Carlos Alvarez said Unc got a 3X shield on his big toe. Unc got a +10 defense bonus on his feet. He got a +10 attack for them toes. For every time he strikes with his foot. This is terrible.
Speaking of attacks and strikes, man, I was playing the new Spider-Man. I saw your tweet like before I bought the game about the whole gay homecoming thing. I was like, oh, I pray I don't get to this mission. I got to that mission and I almost turned my PlayStation off, bro.
Listen, I had to put it down for 2 days.
Why does Black Spider-Man not have a dad, man? That's so fucked up. And why is Black Spider-Man's dad named Jefferson Davis?
Stereotypical.
Some evil trickery by the white man.
It is some evil trickery. The fact that he ain't got no dad and his dad dating a Latina.
Right.
You know the black man's weakness is a Latina. Hold up, where Unc's what's the name? Where are his whatchamacallit? His cheetah shorts. What is that?
It's in the tweet that Goldstein quoted.
Okay.
Oh, I just realized the nigga tagged you in his foot pic.
He tagged me in this shit. How dare he?
Pause.
How dare you tag me in this shit? Now let's bring up Unc's. Unc's style is the worst, yo. We got to give him a makeover. This nigga's got no swag. Look at these shorts. What are these, Unc? When I told you he was a Flintstone, I meant it. Hold up, now I gotta find a picture of Fred Flintstone. Cause he got on the Fred Flintstones. Look. Hold on, I'm bringing a picture of Fred Flintstone up. These the same trunks Unc got on. Hold on, copy image address. Let's bring it to the screen. Look, I'm gonna show y'all. Look right here. Same fit. Same fit. Same fit. Right there. Those Unc's trunks. And you wonder why his feet look the way they do. Unc feet look like that because he stopped the car with his feet. Unc don't got brakes on his car. He told the dealership, you can take the brakes out. Just put a hole in the floor for me. I can stop this car going 100 miles an hour with these strong ass feet. I don't want to hear shit from this nigga.
Let's get off of Unc's toe, man.
No. The whole show is dedicated to this nigga's ugly ass foot.
He said no. It is in the thumbnail.
How dare he? How dare he talk about my feet, take me to Hotep court, and then post this hideous monstrosity of a foot?
Yeah, he did open himself up for that one.
This is terrible. This is a terrible showing. This wasn't it. It's so bad they don't even want the internet don't even want me to go back to the toe. You got charges coming when you get back next week. Uncle Stone Tip. He said Unc need a foot transplant.
Joe Music said Unc foot went through slavery.
Oh, Carlos Africa said, yeah, thumb over the real is Boomer. Did you notice that?
Oh, in the picture?
In the picture, Unc got his thumb over the... Look at it.
That is Boomer.
If you notice in the bottom right-hand corner chat, you see his thumb right there? This nigga's just a super boomer. Fam, move your finger off the camera before you take a picture,
At least
bro.
crop it out.
At least crop it out. This is crazy. This is crazy. Unc gotta do better, man.
Hey man, how you feel about Swiss Beats?
He said Unc Soul's got a natural grip.
I'm trying to get off your toes, man, but the chat is hilarious.
Felix said you could walk through the desert in those. Cassius Can said Unc's left foot was used to dig the Panama Canal. Somebody called them slippers the Gaza dunks. Come on, Dizzler. Oh man, he said how he got working man's feet and he do tech support. This is what I want to know. What the fuck do Unc be doing with his feet in his spare time, man? Unc, you really need some foot care, yo. It's a problem going on with your feet, dog. Like serious, there's some serious underlying health conditions going on that's being expressed through your feet, man. I promise you. Swiss Beats. Swiss Beats is he's a cultural icon. You know, he's a cultural icon. He's had some suspect beats. You know, the people are basically saying that, you know, he's a trash producer, and I think he's got a few bangers. He got a few bangers. He gave us DMX. If it wasn't for him, it would be no DMX. So, you know, he's a staple. He's a legend. I think he should be respected. I saw you put in the chat. You said you can't stand Swiss Beats. Why you can't stand Swiss Beats?
Just listen to the beats, man. So, you know, I have like historically not liked his beats, and I never knew it until I was old enough to realize, oh, Swiss Beats produced this. Like, I'll say on record, he made the worst Drake track ever. Fancy. I hate that song. I skip it every time. He ruined it. I never realized how much I actually hated his beats until I think it was earlier in this year. He put out a single with Lil Wayne. I forget the name. Can't Stop, I think, might be the one. And even in the hook, Wayne's like, Swizzy gave me the beat. It's a headbanger, but it's not. I hate that beat so much.
What's the name of the song?
And it's just, I think it's called Can't Stop.
Oh, let me look this up. Drake and Swiss Beats, Can't Stop. Drake?
No, Wayne.
Oh, Wayne. Lil Wayne.
Nah, it's not. Can't Nobody. That's what it's called. Can't Nobody. And then they said the song was featuring DMX. I'm thinking, oh, we get an unearthed DMX verse on this Wayne song. No, he's just like kind of sampled in the beat throughout the entire song.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna play a snippet of this. Let me see if it sounds. I'm gonna give my honest opinion. Let's see what this.
Google Fi Wireless.
Oh God, fucking ads. Hold on. Let's listen to this. Let me see.
Sometimes I smile to hide the miles of my road travel. Shake my hand, eyes look like solar panels. Leaving bitches on their own like the Oprah channel. Can't trust my shadow, that's a fact that can't get overshadowed. Draco sounding like it's called.
Yeah, it's a little basic, bitch. It's like a sampled loop in the background.
Yeah, I just think it's his drum sounds that irritate me. They're so choppy and they hurt my ears.
Yeah, he's not really. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's known for his drums. Yeah, Ye and Soulja Boy got better drums than him. Who else? Who else got?
I think Timbo's got like the best drums.
Timbo's sick with the drums. He's sick with the drum kit. Dre got sick selection with the drum sounds.
Man, growing up is realizing Dr. Dre is just a really good sampler. my entire like kid life, I just thought, oh damn, he's playing all this, and then I hear the songs where he samples it from, and I'm like, oh, you didn't do any of that. And I'm not here to shit on sampling because I do think it's an art form, but I never knew he just sampled shit and put it together.
Oh yeah, a lot of those hip hop joints were, somebody just replaying that shit because it's the same chords over and over again.
Yeah.
It just matters how long you play the part of a chord. Yeah. I remember when I learned about ghostwriting, and then when I learned about ghostwriting, and then I heard Dr. Dre on the same track as Jay-Z, and I'm like, oh, Jay wrote that verse. I could hear Jay all in that verse.
Right. Or the Dre songs with Eminem.
Yeah, the Dre songs written by Eminem with Eminem. Yeah, you
it's
can
like,
tell.
damn, Dre, your flow changes that much.
Yeah, Dre ain't write that shit.
Right.
But Dre makes decisions, right, which is super important, which I guess makes him an icon. But yeah, Timbo is probably gonna be your drum guy. Just Blaze was pretty decent with the drums.
Mm-hmm.
I like Premier, DJ Toon.
I like Boy Wonder.
Boy Wonder's dope. Hit Boy.
Hit Boy's nice. His albums with Nas are so good.
Yeah. They got real good chemistry because it's about time Nas got some real beats behind him. So
right, that was the complaint throughout his entire career. Yeah. What is your beat selection, bro? But I enjoy the music that they put out. It gave me a newfound respect for Nas too, because I wasn't really checking for him like that. But I can always appreciate an OG who's still dropping music just for the love of the game. And he put out, I think it was 6 albums in the past 3 years.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out who those producers were on Get Rich or Die Trying. Oh, what's the name of those? Rock Wilder was dope. Rock Wilder's one of them, and he was dope. Oh, who was the name of that group of producers? They're really, really dope.
I heard Scott Storch was at one point like Dre's ghost producer.
Yeah, I heard that rumor. Was it that? But Scott Storch he was scorching for a minute. He had for a hot minute. He had a big run. He was like the go-to guy for like a year. Not Shaw Money XL. Oh man, what was? I forget, man. But they used to produce. This was early 50 Cent. But yeah, I mean Swiss. That was the Rough Rider era. You wasn't even around during the Rough Rider era. He was a little boy then.
I just found out that the locks were a thing a few years ago.
You just found out about the locks?
Yeah, bro, blew my mind. Because coming up, I just know Jeezy as a solo artist. And I think when they did the verses, it might have been against Dipset, like during the COVID versus era. I was like, oh, like he came in a group because I know the name Styles P too, and I know like Jeezy and whoever the third guy is. But when I found out that was a group, it was like mind blowing. That's the thing I love about being an adult in 2023 is that there's so much music history for me to catch up on. Like I went through a crazy Mobb Deep phase in 2018 randomly, and that music changed my life.
Oh wow, yeah, Havoc used to produce his ass off.
Yeah, Havoc is nuts.
The fact you didn't know about the locks, that's hilarious. You heard the Benjamins, right? It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Probably, yeah.
It's like a classic hit. Yeah, that was the locks that starts it off.
And then it made sense. Kanye has the bar, I think, on Late Registration. One song is like, I feel like Bad Boys Street Team. I couldn't work the locks. I had no idea what that meant until a couple years ago.
Until you found out about the locks.
Yeah.
No, not Trackmasters. Thank you. That's what I was trying to think of. Trackmasters.
Mm-hmm.
Trackmasters was popping. And then somebody mentioned another one here. Neptunes, yeah. Yeah, all of those were real big. Um, Spider, yeah. Mike Will, yeah. Those are kind of newish though.
Pro 2 Cal, I'm 26, so I was born in 97. I don't know much about anything before then. I'm still coming up and doing my history.
He said, "Do you know who E40 is?"
I'm from California, of course.
You definitely know who E40 is.
Yeah.
Oh man. So era in hip hop you missed was the night that that Nas dropped Ether. So back in them days, like diss tracks used to get dropped off to DJs. So like it was like maybe Flex, Clue, or Angie Martinez. So I remember Angie Martinez getting on the radio and saying like, "Yo, Nas just delivered a was it? Yeah, it was Angie. I think it was Angie. Dropped it off, and we were sitting in the car, and you had to wait. You just had to wait. You know what I'm saying? You had to wait for that shit to come on the radio, and then if you was lucky, you was home and you recorded from the TV you recorded from the radio to a cassette, so you could have a copy of the song.
Mm-hmm.
So the DJs used to like always yell over the record so you couldn't like copyright infringe.
Oh, okay.
So that's how we used to make our mixtapes. You'd wait for like your favorite song to come on, but then you couldn't change the order of the track list because once it's on the tape, it's just on the tape.
Right. Yeah, I hear stories about that a lot, and I wish I would have been a part of that, just because I feel like music is supposed to bring people together. So if you've got your homies just like crowded around the radio waiting for that one song, it's got to be a good feeling. And it's one of the reasons why I don't really like the streaming era, because people aren't even sometimes not putting out physical CDs. I feel like I'm one of the last remaining people who will go to the store and buy a CD because I really enjoy the album and I just want to own it. Because if it's on streaming, it's essentially the cloud. You're like leasing the song almost.
Right.
Who knows when it's going to get taken down? Who knows when it's going to be culturally insensitive and they're going to cancel it? If you've got that CD, it can't be canceled. You can always play it back. You can burn it again.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I had, I think one of the only times I've kind of done that was, it was 2010, and Drake was coming out with "Thank Me Later," and I think he dropped "Over" as the first single, and I was into Drake for a couple years at this point, so I was looking forward to his debut. He dropped "Over" as the first single, and I was 13 at the time, so I was grounded. I couldn't use the computer or whatever. I snuck in the computer room. I pulled out my LG Rumor, recorded the song from the computer onto my phone, and then I was just listening to that like over and over again.
Yeah. Man, we used to go to the record store. I think the records used to drop on Fridays.
Tuesday, right?
It was Tuesday, but then it switched to Friday. But it was Tuesdays. But then later on it switched to Fridays. Era. But we used to go to the record store. I used to cop everything that came out that week. If it was hip hop, I just copped it, and we'd ride around. We'd ride around, going to pick up girls or whatever we were doing, hanging out with the homies and shit. And we'd put in the CD, and if the shit was hot, we kept it. If it wasn't, we would toss it out the window. And we would just brag about the fact that, oh yeah, that's the album that we tossed out the window. We used to call it Frisbee. We used to Frisbee albums out the window.
That's funny.
So, you couldn't take it back to the store. So you just Frisbee it and just like chuck the shit out the window. Like that shit was trash, and you would always remember the albums that were trash, and the rest of them we kept.
Right. The closest thing I got to that is waiting until 9 p.m. for the song to be uploaded on Spotify and Apple Music. It's just not the same.
It's not the same. We had to wait for it to come on the radio, and then Flex would rewind the fucking record a million times. The good thing about the internet is now you can just release it straight to consumer. Back then it was like a lot of bureaucracy, because it's like if you couldn't get it to Flex, your album wouldn't come out. your
That's
record,
true. That's true.
Nobody heard it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas now it's more like if you want 1,000 people to hear your record, you can pay to have 1,000 people play your record by running an ad on fucking Facebook. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or an ad on YouTube. Back in the day, you had to get out the mud, man. I remember sitting outside of Hot 97 for 4 hours waiting for this DJ to come. And he finally came. We had to wait this whole time for him to come. And we waited just to give him a CD. He played the record because we had a record label. He played the record.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was wild, man. The record industry was different back in the day, man. Totally different. It wasn't like we had to go to the recording studio and pay for studio time. Nowadays, y'all motherfuckers record right in your fucking room and shit.
Right. Anybody with a computer and a mic. Man, the first song I actually ever recorded, I just plugged in a Guitar Hero mic into my computer and I downloaded Odyssey. I downloaded like a Drake freestyle.
Audacity?
So, yeah, Audacity, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's pros and cons to the digitization of music.
Yeah.
It's definitely more accessible, which is a good thing. More people are creating. I'm always here for people who want to create. I'm not one of those haters who are like, you suck, don't do it. But it is funny coming up, like growing up, kids in high school, they would rap and I'd be like, you don't really want to rap. And now they stop rapping because they never really wanted to rap. It was just a thing to do. Whereas the real ones who like actually love music are the ones who stuck to it.
Well, that's the good thing about podcasting and activism, because when activism became a grift, people stopped fronting like they wanted to be rappers. And then now you got podcasting, and now it's, you know what I'm saying? So, because that's what you had. You had people rapping because it was cool, right? Not because they really loved the art and they wanted to get good at it. It was a grift. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then activism came along. BLM came along, and people started seeing that was cutting checks. So it's like, fuck being a rapper, I'm going to be an activist. Right? And then activism sort of died off because the Democrat Party don't need us no more. So now the new thing is podcasting. Everybody want to be a podcaster, but that takes some skill. It's not like activism. Activism doesn't take any skill at all. Podcasting, takes some actual skill. So podcasting is the new rapper, right? But at least now, if somebody wants to be a rapper, like they really want to be a rapper, except for women. Now for girls, it's more like a grift. It's right. It's like, I have 1 million followers. I have an OnlyFans. So I got a budget where I can push my own music. Now somebody come write my shit and let me get it produced and let me get in the studio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good point.
For like the IG thoughts, it's a grift now.
At a certain point, OnlyFans was like the female equivalent of being a SoundCloud rapper. I remember seeing people talk about, oh, you ain't got no subs. Now you know how it feels to be a SoundCloud rapper with no play.
Right. Big facts. Great comparison. And then think about how many girls were rappers and then turned to OnlyFans and stopped rapping.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Shit's wild, bro. Shit's wild. Wait, hold on. Let me see what these up with these super chats. Oh shit. Hold on. Damn. More super chats came in than I even saw. Okay, here we go. Joe Music, Hotep Jesus, Unc really didn't show one good plate of food from Jamaica. Not one, bro. Not one.
Damn.
Waste of a trip. Francisco Ventura, he said, HJ, how true was the conversation that Adam and Whack 100 was having with the other two dudes? I don't know. I don't keep up with those guys. Troublemaker Jonah, no man should ever wear pink. I don't know if I agree with that. In fact, pink is a derivative of red, and red's a masculine color. Anyway, Joe Music 931, he said, Unc Foot went through slavery. Just saying, yo, said Unc, no Koofy, no pit vipers. That ain't Unc, that's a tether. Shout out Patriot J standing there for Unc. Cassius Cam, he said, them's the street feet. You suburban knights wouldn't get it. Cassius Cam said he got feet like Jabari Judah, he
He
said,
be in the woods and shit.
yeah, he do. Jabari Judah said, got diabetes feet. Go to the doctor, He definitely got diabetes feet. That nigga need to get his shit checked out. Retro Neon, $10 super chat. Thank you. He said, do you think that there should be a fun anime course in schools where they talk about how spirituality has an interesting connection to anime? Example, 7 Dragon Balls, 7 chakras, Kame equals God. Ooh, you into that Dragon Ball Z stuff?
Yeah, that was one of the like earlier shows I would watch on Toonami back, like Cartoon Network after dark hours.
Mm-hmm.
That was my shit growing up.
There's a lot of esoteric gems in anime. A lot of esoteric gems. So,
especially Yu-Gi-Oh! You know Yu-Gi-Oh?
I never watched that.
Oh, I mean, the whole thing was like he had this pyramid with the eye on it, and he would like channel some like his like inner demons or something, then turn into a real nigga and win everything. Yeah. And it was like a card game, and so if you killed your other opponent, they would go to the shadow realm and shit.
Oh, this sounds like some Hotep shit right there.
It really is.
But yeah, I definitely think there needs to be a course on spirituality in anime. We can, as a matter of fact, we should replace critical race theory with spirituality in anime. Absolutely, I'd sign my kids up for that ASAP.
I'm here for it.
He said, Kung Fu Hebrew says CRT will only teach about the Cloud Village from Naruto. Oh, come on. Just saying, yo. He said, yabba dabba do, killing him. Unk's foot is a new member of the Paw Patrol.
Damn, Jabari.
Jabari said Unk's foot was used to hit that Somalian girl. Cassius King said, I'm kind of with Jay on Swiss Beats. Pretty mid. Alchemist and A-Rab goated though.
Thank you, bro.
Troublemaker Jonah, Wheelchair Jimmy is a cult as F. Retro
That's
Neon,
true.
he said DJ Quick is better than Dre. Troublemaker Jonah, he said Christina's killed Storch on the diss track. Rudy the Vet Russo, Wu-Tang 36 Chambers, got to give RZA his props, great producer. Did you ever dive into the Wu-Tang collection?
Yeah, and the reason why is because they came out with that Hulu series about him. I really love the series. So I said, you know what, let me do my due diligence. I ran through 36 Chambers a lot when I found it out, but that's pretty much all I know. I didn't feel like diving into all of their discography.
How would you rate that album?
1 to 10, I would give 36 Chambers a solid 8. Loses points because I feel like it's a bit too long. And then
yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Back in them days, albums was like 24 tracks. Like niggas used to try to stuff the fucking album.
Right. I love Protect Your Neck and Method Man's track. Method Man is fire. He's got a real dope rap delivery voice.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I wasn't a big Wu-Tang fan. I was like, just give me Meth and you can give me Meth and Ghost and Ray, and the rest of those guys kind of sound crazy to me. It sounds
Take some nerdy niggas out of here.
Yeah. Give me Ray, Meth, and
bomb
Ghost.
atomically. Philosophies and hypotheses.
Yeah. I was like, all right, bro, next.
Yeah.
Like MF Doom.
I saw Wu-Tang. Don't get me started on MF Doom, man. I don't know what people enjoy about it. Like, I think they just like it because it's different. But coming up, I feel like in my era, there's like such a high reverence for MF Doom because he was like kind of like underground, but really good, I guess. I never got into him.
You know what it is there was such an abandonment of content from hip hop to where it was all about flow and delivery, that there was no content, no concepts. So MF Doom was he didn't have the flow and the delivery or the rhyme schemes, but he had the content and the concepts.
Word.
So niggas was signing up for that. You know, my favorite was always Tupac though. Tupac was my fave.
Yeah, he's up there. Bro, you know who I saw live this week?
Mm.
Doja Cat.
Oh yeah, I saw you got tickets. How was that show? That show was probably fire, wasn't it?
It was dope, but it was such a funny experience for me as a straight male. I go in, I pulled up by myself. I love concerts, live music. So, you know, I said, I really do enjoy her latest album. So I said, let me go see it. I pull up in my seat. Like to my left is probably like a teenage girl. To my right is like another group of girls. And then she comes out with the new material. I'm loving it. And then in the middle of the show, she does all her like poppy hits. And then it's just so funny for that portion. I'm just like sitting down, like just chilling. Everybody's going crazy around me. And then she comes back with the new stuff and I'm up, I'm lit. And everybody around me is just like, what is this?
Like, didn't even listen to the new album.
For real. Like I came for the backpack raps and everybody around me was like, what is happening?
Yo, like Doja can really rap, yo.
Mm-hmm.
She can really fucking rap. Like if somebody told me I had to battle rap Doja Cat, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Cause she's clever, she's witty. The funny thing about the album is it's like a vegan, it's not straight edge, but it's very vegan. It's like she puts off this image of demonology, but then when you listen to the album, she's talking about like being good.
Right.
Right?
And maybe that was an intentional juxtaposition.
I think it was.
Wanted the crazy imagery, but then when you actually get into the substance, because I was fully prepared to listen to it and do the frisbee, bro. I was like, nah, like this is gonna be whack. But I listened to it and I was like, okay, Doja Cat, like you came real. I gotta respect it.
Yeah, she's got like positive messages in her music, and everybody online is like, no, she's demon, she's Illuminati. I'm like, yeah, I know.
One of my favorite songs on there, I think, is called "Love Life," and then she's talking about how much she loves her life, and like that's the energy I love in rap, and just in music especially, because it's almost like you're casting spells if you're repeating something over and over again. So if you're saying, you know, I'm so depressed, yada yada yada, eventually it's gonna get into you. Whereas if you're just programming yourself with positive stuff, you're going to come out on the more positive side. I think I realized this when I was maybe 17. I wrote this one song. I wrote the song probably like a year before I recorded it because I didn't have a beat. But I wrote the song and I think I had a bar where I was like, I want to know the purpose of my birth. I want to know what happens when I die, will I really get to heaven and touch the sky, things like that. And that kind of triggered the spiritual awakening that I was talking about at the beginning of the episode that I had when I was in the high school going into college. And I really do think it's just because I kind of like repeated that over and over again and instilled it in me. And then it just led me to discover these topics and it just gave me the natural interest in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you could definitely brainwash yourself through the music, through your own music. Yeah. You know what makes me appreciate Doja is knowing the process of recording, right? Like if you have ever been a recording artist and you had to go to the studio and you had to sit there and you had to work through a verse and nail it, you appreciate how she records. Cause she nails those the delivery is so fire.
Mm-hmm. And then she's just as on point live too, which is incredible.
Yeah.
No backing, which is crazy because
no backing.
More than 75% of rappers today will just get on stage and jump over their own song. I can't stand it. That's not a performance. So she was up there spitting just her vocals. She had like the choreography going on too because she's a dancer and shit like that. So it was dope. And then on that note, I saw Lauryn Hill and the Fugees over the weekend too.
Okay.
And I left that concert. People were complaining on TikTok, I guess, because it didn't sound like the original records and she was late or whatever. But I left that concert feeling like it was really a concert for people who enjoy music rather than people who just like listen to records. Because it was dope. You know, she had they had the full band. It was kind of almost orchestral. She was ad-libbing at the end of things, and that was honestly one of the better shows I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, when you get into the artistry of music and it becomes a live music thing. And when people do live music, they don't always perform it how it sounds on the album. And you and that's an advantage, because if you just played it off the album, then it's like you might as well play the album. But it's like if I come to the show, give me something different.
Right. I want a whole experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna pause the show for a second. I just got delivered to me a beautiful plate of fried chicken by the lovely Olivia Rondo.
Oh, she cooks.
Yeah, she cooks real good.
Oh shit!
Show me the chicken. Show me that.
I did. I flashed it a little bit.
Oh.
We got the red beans and rice. We got the roasted Brussels sprouts. And hot sauce.
And the red hot.
Who's gonna eat, y'all?
Oh, you got the official
gotta
nigga
eat.
meal.
Two ladies in the chat. Two ladies in the chat.
Ladies, you gotta step your shit up, man. Step your shit up. Start cooking for your man.
For real.
He said
About to
Bruno
like you
Mars
and
is the
eat on
best.
the podcast.
Oh, absolutely. You got to. He said Bruno Mars is the best live performer in the industry right now. Bruno Mars been performing since he was 1 year old. He better be the best.
My mom said you look pretty.
Your mom?
She's watching, yeah.
Your mom's watching?
Yeah.
Hey, Mom.
She tuned into everything I do. She
Does
watches
she?
y'all and she always she knows that you be eating, and then Unc is always brushing his beard. That's what she'll tell me.
Yo, I love moms like that. That like watch their kids shit. I love that shit. That is beautiful. You got like a Kanye Donda type mom
Hey, facts.
that just supports whatever you do. That's beautiful. I love your mom. Hi, Mom. Yeah, Bruno Mars is dope. You know, when he's not on coke. Or maybe when he is on coke. I don't know.
I also this weekend saw Travis Scott, and amongst my generation, people are always like, he's the best performer ever. It was like, whatever. Because for the first maybe 5 songs, he was performing over his vocals. I didn't like that. And then I don't like when people perform with the auto-tune. I think unless you're like Roger Zapp, like, why are you performing with the auto-tune?
Yeah. I remember predicting auto tune was gonna be a thing too. I remember kicking it with the homies and telling them that Beyonce and Jay-Z were gonna be a couple. And then I remember saying that in the future people are gonna sound like Roger Trout. And the homies laughed at me like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, in the future, I think people are gonna have like this robotic Robert Trout type sound. That's what the future music. I said this when I was younger.
Hoteps Ben told you.
Yeah, and everybody kind of laughed at me. And now, if they would have took me serious, we could have had auto tune before auto tune, and we would have been out of here. But nigga, I think I was just too future for the group I was with. Like I was just too ahead of my time that they couldn't keep up with me. So when me and Demic became a group, you know, Demic listened and I listened to Demic. So we had exponential success as a group with half the talent of our previous people that we were working with.
Nice. That's what I always wish I had. I always wish I had a rap partner in crime. But I've decided when I make my next album, I'm going to make it with my dad and his homies because they're like the musicians for longer than I've been alive. So I might as well go to some of the people who've been doing it forever.
That's fire. That's going to be amazing. I would support that. Demic was crazy, bro. Like, Demic came up with this idea to, because Obama had just won the election, right? So we was on Supreme Grift, so we came out with a song called Obama. You know what I'm saying? Praising Obama, like,
right?
You know, he's the new Black Jesus. And so we started going around to like black bars and performing the Obama song, and everybody loved it and ate it up because they was black. I'm trying to remember I can't remember my verse. Anyway, so he was like, yo, we should go down to Washington, D.C. and perform the verse in Washington, D.C. The day of inauguration.
Okay.
Nigga, this man hit me up. So I told him I was down.
Mm-hmm.
So like 5 a.m., I wake up because it's about time we're going to get ready to leave to drive to D.C. I wake up and it's snowing. So he called me up like, yo, you ready? I'm like, bro, it's snowing. He like, yo, you ready? I'm like, yo, it's going to be cold. And I don't remember what he said after that, but he cussed me out. And I was like, all right, fine, come pick me up. But if it wasn't for Demic, a lot of shit wouldn't have happened. And that moment really like changed my life. Going there and performing in front of a live crowd in front of the White House or behind the White House. We had got it's a crowd. This is all documented on YouTube somewhere. Matter of fact, I'm about to pull this shit up. Now,
That's crazy that you were there because I was there that day.
Were you?
Which is, yeah, it's kind of crazy, but not crazy because we're both black and it was the first black president. But like, damn, my dad took me. It was my birthday gift when I turned 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
It was so fire. That was an awesome day. My first time in DC.
Ladies,
I got it right here. I'm about to put it up on the screen. I'm not going to play the audio. Actually, I might play the audio. Hold on.
let's go.
I said I'm still for the drama.
I killed for my mama.
And I done voted for
Obama.
Yeah.
Obama.
Yeah.
Obama.
Yeah.
Obama.
Yeah.
Obama.
I said vote Obama, or vote. I said vote for more drama. McCain walking around like he toting that llama. If he winning, probably gonna be more bombings, be more problems like be more's problems. The streets taking over, snatching up soldiers. Police ain't afraid to come out, they hostess. Sean Bell, a sad tale, they profile the black male. Look at Rodney King, look at Martin Luther King. Look at Rosa Parks, look at us in scattered parts. Young males, we losing the streets in confusion. Ain't no cohesion, just fiends and cohibas. Gangsters and Chiba, they used to rock beepers. Now they rock ice, run scans with the visa. Time has come for a new black leader. Time has come for a new black leader. I'm still for the drama. I kill for my mother.
This was like straight acapella. You know what I'm saying? In hindsight, I feel like an idiot. Because he turned out to be
better.
I ain't know no fucking better, nigga. I didn't know no better. All I knew was the president was black. That's about all I knew. You know what I'm saying? Kung Fu Hebrew said, you always been grifting. Nigga, I've been grifting, yo.
I'm looking at the video right now.
He said HJ looked like a broke Fredo Star. Fredro Star. Oh, man. He said AJ was brainwashed. I was done, dog. I was done. And my heart was broken after the Obama's first thing. Oh, Demic had to help me get over that.
After his what?
After his first term.
Oh, yeah.
I seen what came of it. I turned into an Obama hater. And then Demic was like, yo, he's like, yo, you said all the presidents is controlled, so how you going to be mad? And I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. I did say that.
Like, man, I thought he'd be different because he was black.
Right. How dumb was I? Straw Dad said, out there cooned up for Obama.
I bet Unc voted for McCain.
You know Unc voted for McCain. You know he did. Oh, man. Yeah, so that was back. So, yeah, so you see we was out there. I had the North Face puffy on, and it was cold as shit. And we was just going from corner to corner, just performing the same song. Dr. Feelsgood said that clip legendary. Yo, that clip is legendary. But yeah, Demic used to have us on crazy missions, man. Crazy missions, just performing everywhere, just popping up. And we had a nice little crowd too. Like if you look at the video, I'm gonna show you because they spin the camera around and you'll see the people in the background. I'm gonna show you right here. I'm really proud of this moment outside of the Obama shit. And so we had a nice little crowd, man. It was a nice little crowd. I think the inauguration was the next day. And,
Was that your first time like performing for an audience?
No. We had performed this song a million times by the time we got here. You know? Yeah, we had we had this song perfected. You know what I'm saying? And we had got this crowd over here and they was eating that shit up, man. They was eating that shit up. And I felt so good. I felt like, how a activist grifter would feel after, pretending to be a revolutionary. In hindsight, I ain't had shit to be proud of. You couldn't tell me shit, man. Yeah, that triple fat goose. Yo, that triple fat goose was it. That triple fat goose was it. You saw the RBG flag? We was really out there, B. Somebody peeped it.
They said HJ was a 2000s boule, bro.
Here you go. Yeah, those was the Boston days. Oh, man. So, yeah, music really changed my life, man. It really, really changed my life. What else is on the Black Twitter report? Let me see here.
That whole Jeezy and Nia Long situation where
what
he
is
was
this?
dirty macking. Did you watch the clip?
I watched the clip, but I still don't understand what's going on. Hold on, let me pull this up. Let's talk about this. Hold on, let me pull the clip up. Let me play it for the people.
Let me know when you play it. I'm gonna watch it on my phone and I'm gonna mute.
All right, you ready? I'll do a
Just a second.
countdown.
All right, counting down.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Thing,
Right.
right? Like, and you got to know when it's time to be done.
Right.
And that's usually not about another person, an affair, or, some chick that's willing to like make you feel like a king. Cause that's why most men cheat. Most men cheat because
that's fascinating to me.
it's so gross. It's so stupid.
I personally, this is my quote, and real niggas don't cheat.
You don't think so?
Hell no.
I kind of understand what
They
you
do
mean
not.
when you say that.
They do not.
I understand what you mean when you say
It's
that.
something in us
Yeah.
that makes us want to be right
Yes.
across the board.
But is that so that you are living up to the expectation that you've set for yourself? Right? Like, and you gotta.
What is this? What are they talking about here?
Well, it was the whole situation with I think it was her ex-husband now, Ime Udoka, because he was the Celtics head coach, and then he got caught cheating with it must have been someone's
Oh, that's right.
like wife top in the administration because they shipped him out to Houston after that.
I do remember that now. Yeah.
Yup.
And Jeezy just left his girl.
Mm-hmm.
So the comments are saying he's shooting his shot at Nia Long. I gotta say, I really like Nia Long. I really, really like her. I feel like I could have a conversation with her and she won't go all black liberal on me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you speak to, for example, like I could not see myself having a conversation with Gabrielle Union, right?
Right.
I
think that's because there was another clip from that interview. She was talking about how she grew up in South Central and she only dated like dope men. So she's got that real experience. It's not like she's coming from, I guess, the black privilege point of view or the black academic.
That's probably what it is. That's why I see her being down to earth like that. So is it true that real niggas don't cheat?
That's a funny quote because the way he delivered it was hilarious.
Yeah. I'd like to modify it. Being a real nigga has nothing to do with women.
Hotep, you're a genius.
I like that.
HotepJesus.com.
Being a real nigga, you know, I'm gonna show you what being a real nigga is like. Being a real nigga is like going to girlfriend number 2 and her saying or trying to say something bad about girlfriend number 1. You tell her, hey, don't you just disrespect girlfriend number 1.
Right.
That's being a real nigga. Now, if you out here pillow talking and talking shit to girlfriend number 2 about girlfriend number 1, you not being a real nigga. Famo said, if I gotta cheat, I'm leaving. That's also true. That's also true. It's also true. You know what I'm saying? But being a real nigga got nothing to do with a woman. It's got nothing to do with cheating. Being a real nigga is about handling your business. Handling your business without fucking doing something crazy illegal. Or maybe it is illegal, because sometimes, I mean, I can just call you.
Sometimes, man, you got to bend the rules.
Yeah, you know, and we can just call you and you can get us out.
I'd say
you know?
you got to be ethical rather than
ethical.
lawful.
There you go. Ethical. That's the word I'm looking for. Higo said you got to maintain the women you keep. Yeah, you can't be shitting on your main bitch and cheating at the same time. You know, you got to at least make sure your main bitch is happy.
Right.
You know, before you entertain another bitch. You know, somebody said staying honorable to yourself. Yeah, you got to do honorable things. You know, but getting a little cheese on the side ain't never hurt nobody.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
You know what I'm saying? But I'll say it again. I said it before, I say it again. You know, being a real nigga ain't got nothing to do with women. And I thoroughly think he's definitely trying to shoot a shot at Nia Long, and I would too. I probably would have said the same shit.
It's Nia Long.
Yeah, if I was sitting in front of Nia Long too, I'd be like, oh my God, guys cheat? Oh, I can't believe that. How dare they?
I don't know if you remember, they posted this clip on Twitter. They quoted it, the clip from Fresh Prince. And I think it was D.L. Hughley was on the episode, and he's being all rude to the girl or whatever. And then Will comes and he's like, I'm sorry. Was that man bothering you? I'd like to apologize on behalf of the male species.
Yo, real talk. How about this? Try this one on for size. Pause. How about if your girl don't let you have a little something on the side, she ain't a real bitch.
HotepJesus.com.
See, if your girl was a real one, she'd let you have another girlfriend. If she was real, if she was really real. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't about us being real. It's about you being real. Let's be realistic. I need another flavor. I need a little flavor on the side. Imagine you go to Thanksgiving and all mama got is just a turkey. Nigga, I need some string beans. That's my skinny bitch. I need the ham. That's my thick white bitch. You know what I'm saying? I need some rice. That's my Asian bitch. You know what I'm saying? A nigga gotta eat, man. Come on. Oh my God. Say as long as you keep the bacon on the table. Yeah. Steak, that's your chocolate girl. That's your fine chocolate girl. She be hitting the gym. She got an ass like Serena. That's what the steak is.
Nigga eating steak at Thanksgiving.
You know what I'm saying? Candy yams. That's your Italians. Your Italian girls, they real sweet. You know what I'm saying? What the Latinas? Latinas might be the cornbread.
Yeah.
Nigga need a little.
I like
something,
to say
something.
Italians are diet niggas.
They are. That's facts. That's a mathematical fact.
Mm-hmm. I claim Dan Bongino and Janine Pirro as black conservatives.
Is Dan Bongino black?
No, but but you thought about it for a second and you believed it. You were like, "Oh, Dan."
I didn't think I thought he was like Sean King Black.
I thought he was like The Rock Black, but I'm pretty sure he's like Italian.
Is he Italian?
I think so.
Nicole Korgar said, fine, I say do what you want, but are you going to pay this mortgage? That's what I'm saying. If the nigga holding down the bills, he deserves some extra coochie on the side. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes y'all coochie don't be hitting. Sometimes your girl coochie don't be hitting. You know what I'm saying? He's Italian? Oh, okay.
I think so.
Okay. Wait, what was the wait, what is this? Oh, okay. Now we was talking about Nia Long. Yeah. And Nia Long is she's very special. She's a very special individual, a very special woman. I'd love to meet her. I love to interview her. I love to talk to her, whether on the record or off the record. I just feel like I can talk to her. I really feel like that. But ladies, you ain't a real one unless you let your man have some side pussy. You ever had a woman just say to you, you know, if you fucked another woman, I wouldn't care. You ever had a woman say that to you?
No, I haven't.
I have. I wasn't sure how to feel though. I wanted to celebrate.
It's like,
but I thought that might look too suspect. Like, word? For real?
For real? I already do.
Well, let me tell you about this bitch I got. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Hey, yo, listen, man. I'm fooling on the show. Don't y'all go out here and try this shit, man. And go. Some of y'all taking this shit serious and going back to your girl with this shit. Don't do this shit, man. Do not listen to me, man. This is just pure comedy, man. This is just comedy.
But babe, Hotep Jesus said it was okay.
It's not okay. It is not okay to cheat on your girl. Disclaimer. Disclaimer. That's usually them trying to angle for some side dick. Uh-oh. You right, Goldstein. You right. Gotta watch out for them. Women is sneaky like that. They sneaky like that. All right, let's go to the next topic, man. What else we got in here?
I see something about redacted.
Yeah, here we go. Wait, which one you looking at? The one in the group chat or the one I sent you?
Yeah, the one in the group chat.
Let's bring that up. I was gonna skip that one, but since you said it, let's bring it on up. Let's put it on the screen. Let's put it up on the Summer Jam.
I see my
screen.
2 favorite words: Jews and BLM.
Here we go. So Michelle Rosenberg says Jews went to prison for participating in freedom rides. Jews helped establish the NAACP. They didn't help. They actually did that shit.
Right.
Jews marched with BLM. We will remember this silence from the black community. We won't forget.
Uh-oh, what are they holding it over our head?
Oof. Tweet has now been deleted.
That's a piece of Hotep history, though, talking about Jews helped establish the NAACP. People forget that fact quite conveniently.
They did. They definitely established it. That's why people come to me and they talk about black organizations. And I'm like, name a black organization. They go NAACP. I'm like, okay, can you name a black? I said, name a black organization. Because that was all started by majority Jews. It's not a black organization. BLM got co-opted. The Freedom Rides were also NAACP funded, what do you call it? Publicity stunt.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's not the Freedom Rides. Was it the Freedom Rides? Or is
Well, I
it
think they had the Freedom Rise and then the sit-ins.
The sit-ins. Many of those sit-ins were NAACP stuff. What? Can't remember. Hold on. Let me see. NAACP Freedom Rise.
I remember somebody tried to clown me because I was saying Rosa Parks wasn't the first Rosa Parks.
Yeah. It was Claudette Colvin. Okay, so yeah, NAACP was involved in the Freedom Rides, but I don't think it started with them. I think it's, the thing is, many of these things were started organically and then got co-opted, which is a common theme.
Yeah,
which is a common theme.
She left out in that tweet. Jews run the black-owned rap record labels. We gave y'all the NAACP, BLM, and rap music. Damn it!
Yo, you know what's crazy is, you ever watch Cadillac Records?
A while ago, that was the one. No, that I was gonna say that's not the one with Beyonce. That was Dreamgirls, right?
That was Dreamgirls, but same thing in that one. You always have like that Jewish character that comes in and he's like the record exec. It's like a common theme throughout all these like historical black movies. Okay, so we got the Freedom Riders here, right? Now, this is what I be saying when I tell you like black history ain't really black. Now I put these faces up here from the Wiki article with many of the mugshots, and this is white folks. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 black faces. This light-skinned nigga up here. And it might be another quadroon in here. Octoroon in here somewhere. But you can see let's just say white faces. You can see them there. So a lot of that stuff was, astroturf and whitewashed. That's why when people start talking about civil rights, I'm like, I don't even want to talk about that shit, man, because half that shit was fucking fake and white liberal controlled. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, so the audacity of her tweet is what's really being called into question, right? We will remember your silence. What does that even mean?
Right. They think they own the black voice. Like, come on, Negro.
Snitching on themselves, dry snitching on themselves.
Right. Because I would get canceled if I say that. Right. I think Kanye said that same exact thing last year and got very canceled.
Yeah.
And now here they are reminding you.
I control you, nigga.
They got us in a 720 deal.
Yeah, it's not even 360. It's a 720. Wrapped up. It's ugly out here. All right, let me cover some super chats real fast, and then we'll go back. We'll go to the white Twitter report. See what white folks is talking about.
That's so true. That is the white Twitter report.
Jamar Youngblood said, HJ, which album do you remember throwing out the window? It was one of the Saint Lunatics. Do you know who the Saint Lunatics are?
Oh, yeah. That's that was like Nelly's group.
Nelly's group, yeah.
Yep.
And it was one of their solo albums came out. What was the name of this? What was in this group?
I just know
Murphy Lee. Okay, so Murphy Lee dropped a solo album. Trash.
Yeah.
Tossed it right out the window. But the funny thing is, back in those days, it was easy to go gold. Like, I looked it up just now. This album got certified gold. It hit number 8 on the U.S. chart. Number 5 in R&B.
Probably
like,
less competition, right?
No. It wasn't even about the competition. It was the fact that hip-hop music was so hot. Because you got to remember, like, during the 80s, hip-hop was, like, bad to listen to, right?
Yep.
The 90s, the first half of the 90s, it started coming out of that. It was real gritty and very Hotep. And then the Masters came around and was like, this stuff is catching on. We need to change it. So like right around 94, you got the bad boy shit started to come about, Biggie and all of that. And then the flash and commercialism came. By the time 98 came, you had Mace was coming out. You know what I mean? By the time 2000 came out, Wayne was hot, Big Timers was hot, Master P was hot. And all of that shit was about, you know, big spinning rims and wheels and all of that, right?
Bling, bling.
Bling, bling, right? So hip hop had taken off. So if you put out a hip hop album, you were pretty much as if it was decent, you were pretty much guaranteed to go gold.
Right,
like I said, I used to go to the store and buy everything.
And he did have the Nelly cosign. Nelly was like one of the hottest rappers.
Yeah, and he had the Nelly cosign, so that really helped him a lot. But I remember my homeboy tossed that one out the window. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I tried to listen to that one recently. I don't know why I was in like a Nelly phase, but I listened to his I think it's the Country Grammar album. And then I think there was one song on the Murphy Lee album, I think like that lead single where he doesn't have a hook. I was like, all right, this is kind of cool, you know? And then I tried to listen to the rest of his album. No. I really like Southern rappers because they have a cool voice, and it just there's so much they could do it and play around with it. And that's really just how they sound, which is tight. Like sometimes when I rap, I try to put a little Southern drawl in there just because it's fun.
I remember arguing with my cousin about Lil Wayne. Before I even know who Lil Wayne was, it was who's better, Lil Wayne or Jay-Z? And I was just completely flabbergasted that he could even compare Lil Wayne and Jay-Z. And in hindsight, now I'm like, that's not a bad argument.
He was an early adopter.
He was an early adopter. He was definitely on top of things. But he was a down south nigga.
I'll tell you this, I still don't get Jay-Z. I think maybe it'll come to me when I'm a little bit older, but
what'd you listen to?
I try to go back and listen to like Reasonable Doubt and his OG stuff. It just doesn't hit for me.
It's a personality thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta want to be an asshole oligarch to enjoy Jay-Z's music.
That's fair.
You know, Jay-Z's very pompous. He's very arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, Jay-Z's motivational. Like when I get drunk, I have to listen to Jay-Z. Otherwise I'll get a hangover the next day. Yeah. So I have to turn like Jay-Z up real loud and like rap fucking Blueprint or one of the originals.
I respect him as a man though, and just everything that he's done for hip hop. He did this interview a couple weeks ago with Gayle King, and they were talking about his, I guess, library that's in Brooklyn or some shit, which is pretty dope. And like he's had a really good rap career, and then and beyond in other ventures.
Yeah, I want to check out his interview with Gayle King, but every time I watch a clip, Gayle King gets on my nerves because it's just like she keeps trying to finish his sentences, and he's like, "No, that's not what I was about to say."
Right.
And it's like, yo, just let the man talk, yo. Yeah, his arrogance is what I love. It's very Jay-Z's music is motivational. It's very motivational for me, particularly. Big money talk and just aspirational. Not Noir, Raekwon Strictly Built. Okay. Cassius Cam said Andre Nicotina is West Coast Method Man.
Ooh, that is a hot take.
That's a hot take. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, he's a Bay Area rapper.
Ah.
I could see it because he's got like a very unique voice. But he has a lisp when he raps, so it's just funny to listen to.
Troublemaker Joni says ODB was a role model. Gravediggers greater than Wu-Tang for me. Retro Neon, fun fact, MF Doom was part of a rap group back in the early 90s that was associated with Third Base and had Brand Nubian appear in that first video. Oh wow, what a fun fact. Nicole Korgard, yeah, great. Thanks for nothing. Wait. I don't even know what that's about. Nicole Korgard, Hotep should be proud of themselves. Thank you, Nicole.
Respect.
Jabari Judah. I think what happened was she was probably like typing a text to one of her boyfriend. Yeah, thanks for nothing, and accidentally sent a super chat to me. I don't know what that's about. Jabari Judah, he said, according to Jeezy, 90% of our heroes ain't real niggas. Let he who hasn't sinned cast the first stone. I heard some Jabari dude say. Jeezy said that? Oof. You know, that sounds like to me, like, these conservative grifters where like everybody thinks they're heroes. And I'm like, I don't know about that.
Right.
Troublemaker Jonah, I would take Union's daughter to the Barbie movie to hit. YouTube already reject 10 prior comments.
Wait.
What the?
Wait.
Jonas, he's out there.
This guy. No, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. We gonna act like he ain't say that shit. Has Patriot J seen True Romance? I don't know what that is. All right,
no.
we're gonna read the rest of the super chats. Let's go to the white Twitter report. See what's going on in white Twitter.
I heard the Jews were going to be kind for 4 hours out of the day.
Yes. So there was a ceasefire for 4 hours. So they're gonna stop kicking your ass for 4 hours out of the day. So 20 hours, you got to get low. This is hilarious.
I saw that, and I saw Israel ceasefire. I'm like, wow, what a great day. And then I kept reading, and I saw for 4 hours. It's like it's laughable. Like, why should it be 4 hours in the middle of the night too? Like from 1 to 4 a.m.
What if you got to return the U-Haul truck? It's like, damn, we got 3 hours. We got 5 minutes left, nigga. Like, come on. Like, that's just really arrogant of Israel to say. You know, you niggas got 4 hours. You know, and to make it seem like it's a humanitarian thing. That's some big dick shit, pause. That's some real big boss, we run the show type thing to do.
Facts.
We gonna stop kicking your ass for 4 hours. We're gonna let you get a breather.
Here, have a halftime.
Cause get a water break. Water break.
Right.
Cause we
come back stronger, nigga. Yeah.
Cause the whole world complaining, and instead of them saying, "Hey, look, we're gonna negotiate, come to the table and stop," they're like, "Nah, we're just gonna get these niggas 4 hours a day."
Right.
That's
and
the best we can
someone was
do.
in a meeting and they came up with that, and they were like, how do we address these concerns that we're coming off as aggressive and genocidal? Somebody's in the back like, how about giving them 4 hours?
How about we just give them a timeout? Remember, you used to play as a kid, you used to call timeout?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is. Where Israel gets to call timeout. Dr.
Right.
Feels Good said, when I first heard that shit, I was weak. Yo, that shit had me crying when I saw that. Anime manga fans said Israel's arrogant like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they got the leverage.
Right.
So,
like Future said, you do what you want when you popping.
Correct. So who you got? Who you got in the war? Whose side are you backing? Palestine or Israel?
I have not officially come out on the record and picked the side. And what I'm about to say right now is not me picking a side, but I'm just saying I like to win. And look like one side is not gonna win. And it looked like one side has not been winning for decades. So do with that what you will. I like to win.
Now
I think the chat can infer.
Unc would call that bandwagon. He said you're supposed to rock with the underdog.
You could only get beat for so long until you're like, damn, let me pick another team. Nah, but I will say, I haven't really spoke on this because just personally, I don't give a fuck about countries that are not named America. A very like isolationist vibe. I don't care about what happens overseas. We got too many issues here. So I'm not tapped in every day. But you know, a piece of me at one point in time growing up may have been fueled with a little bit of isms and light hatred, but I'm finding now that the best thing to do is free hatred from your heart. And looking at it historically, we've had these types of situations, people fighting over land. That's what it's all about. They're fighting over land, and to me, it seems like both sides are looking at it like it's a holy war. Both sides think they're entitled to land. So at a certain point, one side's going to lose. But you fight over land, you either stand on business or you get your land took. And it's the same exact thing that that they did when they came to America back in the 1700s. You know, they came here. They said, all right, bye-bye natives. This is our shit now. And I respect that so much because it got us all here. You know, manifest destiny. That was a real thing. They just made up. They were like, you know what? Manifest destiny. This whole country is ours. And they ran with it. They took it. And now we have the same thing happening in the Middle East. We can talk about, I guess, the origins of the country. That's a different story. But that happened decades ago. The country's here, and they're expanding little by little or whatever. They're trying to make their way, and at a certain point, you got to respect the precedent that history has taught us.
Yeah, I just don't know what to do with it because both sides fought each other. They fought a war, and one side won. So, like, ain't you supposed to just take your L and go?
Right, like you want to take another L after another L, and the conflict spurs up every 4 to 8 years.
Pretty much every
like,
election.
For what? Yeah, like for what?
Yeah. I really can't lend too much brain power to it.
Yeah, as much as I can say, you know, it's bad for people to go to war and take land. What the fuck is what I have to say going to stop any of this? It's like so above my pay grade.
Yeah.
Marching in the street isn't going to help the people who are losing, nor is speaking out on Twitter. I'm not going to donate like 20 cents a day to some Make-A-Wish Foundation and help them out. Like, what can I actually do? And the fact that I can't actually do nothing leads me to care a little bit less. And it's also two countries that are not named America. So you have a hard time on selling that to me anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't give a fuck. Yeah, I really don't give a fuck. The way we talked about this the other day on the show was we're trying to figure out which master would you want? Would you want the Muslim master or the Jewish master?
That's an interesting question.
And judging by history, I have to go with the Jewish master because, you know, when he had us in shackles, we kept our nuts. And somebody made the joke, he even let us bang his wife. Now, in the Islam culture, they chop your nuts off when they own you.
Right. They don't play.
They don't play no games. You're a eunuch, you're a servant, and, you know, did you play the new Assassin's Creed?
No, I didn't.
All right, so new Assassin's Creed's got eunuchs in it. And they're like historically accurate where they don't have the deep voice. They sound like bitches. So, you know, eunuchs were used for that purpose. But yeah, black males were castrated when they became property under Arab Muslims, you know, maybe 1,000 years ago or less. So, you know, when a Jewish man had us in shackles, Goldstein said, "What you mean had?" Well, he gave us new shackles, man. Shackles we can't see.
New slave.
Holding my nuts. Oh my God. What kind of name is that? He said both were nut choppers. Well, yeah, kind of. Because the other one gave, what was it? What did they call that? Circumcision? Yeah, you're right. They're kind of both nut choppers. in their own respective way. But it's like, I don't know. Like, what do you want? Sharia law or pronouns, I just have a feeling I'd get along with Jewish people more than I would some extremist Islamist,
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I think the Jew would give me more freedom than the Islamic radical Islamist. I think he would.
And they give you a record deal.
And you get a record deal. Fucking brand new record deal. A fucking manager.
At least they let you feel like you're in control of some shit.
You know what I'm saying? Give me the Jew any day, man. He said shackles are shekels. Big Poppy, thank you, man. For 2020, we had Pete Buttigieg running for president. This time we have Vivek Ramaswamy.
What?
Rob my salami. Oh my God.
Oh no.
He said,
I think it's so funny. The CIA gave us the first gay candidate and put butt in his name.
Exactly.
So funny.
They have a huge sense of humor, the powers that be.
Right.
Pete Buttigieg. Troublemaker Jonah, CIA took over rap by 86, NWA, etc. There you go, Jonah.
Was NWA in the 80s or 90s?
It was 90s, I believe. No, actually, yeah, it was definitely in the 90s. What am I talking about? Troublemaker Jonah, would you go to Epstein Island with R. Kelly and Jay? Oh my God. Jabari Judah, he said this conflict is weird. Hamas could be a 187 a hostage every hour until they stop bombing, and the other side should say, we'll stop when you release people. Both sides are playing to lose on purpose. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Troublemaker Jonah comes up every 4 to 8 years for usspending.gov. Oh man. Yeah, that's true.
So funny how we just completely forgot about Ukraine. Nobody talks about Ukraine anymore.
Just gone.
Like Putin, who is that?
Right. Did you watch the debates last night?
Hell no. I was playing Spider-Man and then I'm seeing like texts and posts about it. And I'm like, oh, the debate's on? That's cool. I'm going to keep playing Spider-Man. Since I stopped working for Breitbart, I am so tapped out of politics. I don't want to look at a story like ever. I don't care what is going on. I'm trying to build a business and get bread right now. Like, I'll let them talk on the stage. But of course, I did see the clips that made it to the timeline, which were primarily Vivek Ramaswamy going off. And that's the type of energy that I can appreciate. I think I got off a tweet last night saying, I would rather vote for Vivek than DeSantis. And people are like, oh my God, you're not a principled conservative. And it's like, nah, I like his energy. The president can't really do too much. So I'd rather him be a mouthpiece for issues that I care about because that can move the culture. Like Donald Trump, for example, the best thing he did in 4 years was call CNN fake news. He didn't have to legislate at all. He just had to go on TV and call them fake news. And that was so much more important to me. So important.
So important. I would pick Robert over DeSantis. Yeah. I call Vivek Robert.
I was like, who the fuck is Robert?
I call him Robert. Because you know how people come from other countries, they come here and they get an English name.
Yeah.
So John. Nigga look like Wing Chang Chun. You know that's not your name, motherfucker.
Facts.
So I call him Robert Shlami. But I would definitely pick Robert over DeSantis.
Yeah. But people are saying, oh, Ramaswamy might be a good number 2 for Donald Trump, and I do not want him on the ticket because
why not?
That would just be, to me, a little bit too unserious. because although I can appreciate Ramaswamy's brass on the stage, I think he's good for that. Maybe calling out the GOP. I don't know if he would be good in an actual position of power. Maybe like a lower cabinet position, but just Trump, Ramaswamy, and I wouldn't want to vote for a president or a vice president named Ramaswamy. Just being xenophobic here.
Yeah. My president got to be white or black. We not doing no foreigners.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe Hispanic down the line.
Yeah. Even the Hispanics got to wait another 30 years.
Right.
Nah, this our country. Me and the white man built this shit. Okay.
100%.
Rest of you motherfuckers got to wait. But yeah, I think the perfect position for Robert is press secretary.
Yes, he would make a fire press secretary.
Fire press secretary. That's the position I would do.
That would be that would be the perfect position for him.
Yeah, let him talk shit every time they ask him a dumbass
that's what he's
question.
Good at.
Yeah.
To me, he seems like the Twitter candidate, which is just so funny to see in real life, like ideas and zingers being spewed on the TV that were like literally on the timeline. So it's cool in that sense, but that's why I don't take him too serious, because I just look at him as the Twitter candidate.
Yeah. You didn't miss anything from the debate last night. I drew my conclusions on last night's debate from the very first question. And then I listened to the rest of it with my eyes closed as I fell asleep. And then I finished watching it this morning just because I didn't want to give somebody because I was going to cover it on the show today, and I didn't want to give people a half-ass show. But I was right. The first question, they come out and they're going, it's basically, hey, please shit on Trump. And that's the first question.
Who took the bait? All
Thank
of them?
you. So,
except for Ramaswamy, I'm sure.
Robert Swamy and Tim Scott did not take the bait. Chris Christie.
Oh, respect some real niggas.
Basically the white people. The white people took the bait, and the people of color were smart enough not to. Maybe some of this stuff is genetic. White people just more likely to fucking attack other people. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, Robert saw right through the game that the moderators were playing and fucking kept it real. And I was happy that he said what he said. Like, yo, NBC, you guys are fake news. You pushed a fake Russian hoax. Hunter bought the laptop. Hillary Clinton, you're fake news. He called out the RNC chair, told her to resign. So
yeah, that's fire.
Yeah, he fired off right off the beginning at the perfect moment. If he would have came out with that same speech, I think it would have hit. But the fact that he came out with that when he wanted him to attack Trump made it even better timing. Because, it's just kind of petty. It's like, you bring me here to debate and talk about the future of the country. You want me to talk about another man? Yeah, it was tacky. It was chatty patty and tacky.
The thing with Vivek is I don't know any of his policies. Like other than he's the outsider guy, like I don't know what he actually stands for on a policy side.
Yeah.
Whereas I know that Nikki Haley is super pro-war. Ron DeSantis is all anti-abortion. Chris Christie's just fat. Tim Scott's just black.
Yeah, Tim Scott's just there to be black. Goldstein called him the token, and I agree with that. Yeah. So you didn't miss it,
right? Because how is he even still on the debate stage? I bet Ronna McDaniel, who's a Romney, I think her full name is Ronna Romney McDaniel. She probably has like a quota for the GOP presidential debate.
Yeah, but the fact that, because I looked, I was like, why the fuck they got a Republican debate on NBC? I'm like, what kind of shit is this?
Right.
That made no sense at all. And I'm like, oh, y'all letting the left grift off of y'all? Y'all
They be trying to play to the other side too much.
Say it again.
Which is funny because I feel like one of the largest criticisms from the anti-Trump Republicans is like, oh, he wants the left to like him so bad. That's why he's progressive on these things. But like, if you go to the GOP establishment, they are begging to be liked by the left.
They do everything not to be canceled by the left.
Right.
They're so milquetoast and so politically correct. Even their organizations and the gatherings for their events. Oh, don't do this and don't do that. It's going to get bad press. When you say it's going to get bad press, basically what you're saying is you're afraid of the left, you bitch.
Right.
It's going to get bad press. Who the fuck listens to the press?
Seriously. They are so out the loop.
Like, and it's just like, oh, y'all actually care about what y'all white cousins on the other side of the aisle say. Y'all actually care about their opinions, no matter how blasphemous it was. But we got to remember, Republicans, they was jabbed up too. Fox News had their employees jabbed up. Masked up. You know, these people was pushing the jab. They was pushing the mask. So, you know, the GOP is like, you know, 6 degrees of separation from fucking the liberal, man. They debate the same thing.
If you think about it, the GOP's base is really just Democrats. That's who they're trying to appeal to.
Right.
They don't want to look at the actual Republican voter base because they will realize we don't want Trump without the controversy. We don't want a Ron DeSantis who's got the policies, but he doesn't have the fire. Like, no, the Republican base wants an outsider fighter. And if they were actually in tune with their voters, they would realize that. But they're not. It's just donor class politics.
Yeah, they controlled opposition. Ann Bailey said Outwitting the Devil is the only book you need. That's a phenomenal book. You familiar with that one?
I haven't read it, but I got the Kindle version, so it's on my list.
Kindle version is probably fire. I know the one I listened on YouTube was fire, but so the way the story goes is Napoleon Hill wrote Outwitting the Devil. When it was time to publish the book, they told him he couldn't publish it because he would have got basically canceled in his time. So he shelved it and wrote Think and Grow Rich, which is basically like a watered down version of Outwitting the Devil, which is politically correct. And then Outwitting the Devil, I think, got published later on. Really good book. I think Outwitting the Devil is a book you got to give kids. Like right when your son turns 13, you got to say like, read this. Because there's a lot of red pills in there. Like red pills that grown-ups can't even fucking handle. Let's see here. Unc new name is Barack Obama. He saw the ravishing with the Rumble rant. Appreciate you. He said, I'm having an issue sending BTC from Coinbase to Pally due to the minimum purchase cost on Pally. Hotep, get at me, bro. No, Pally don't support BTC. I think that's why you're having problems. I don't think Pally supports BTC. There's no Bitcoin on Pally. Let me go back to YouTube here. Let me see here. Hold on. NWA was 86. Look it up. I had the cassette at 8 or 9. Retro Neon said NWA came out in 86, and the gung-ho American that I am not only wants to fight the socialist communist regime, but also wants to free Canada as well. NWA came out they did come out in the 80s because that's when the nigga had the Jerry curl.
Oh,
that's right. That was the 80s.
But that is true, huh? Yeah.
Damn, that was the 80s. Because the 80s was Jerry curls. And that's when Boys in the Hood and all that shit came out. Well, Boys in the Hood came out in the 90s. That was after NWA. Yeah, I'm getting old because these fucking decades is running together. Troublemaker Jonas said, round table to Irving Crystal 2020's been saying. Yeah. Shout out to Irving Crystal. Yeah, what else you got, man? The rest of these topics are kind of boring.
Yeah, just looks like it's all Jewish stuff. No disrespect to anybody. Zelensky was in the news because he invited Trump to Ukraine. He said, "I'm out of the news. Let me just talk about Donald Trump real quick."
He's so desperate to be relevant. It's like, bruh, like you about to get another check from the United States. Go away. Leave us alone, bro. Take your money and go.
Right.
And he keep asking for money.
Yeah, I see too many Israel and Palestine in here to be interested.
Too many Israel and Palestine? Yeah. I'm over that shit. I just want to talk about cheating on your bitch.
I ain't talking about that right now.
You better not. It's gonna get choked up. HJ, explain why you'd build Hotepistan as a communist utopia. Cause like Hotepistan, first of all right, so you ever heard the quote before? Tell me if you heard this quote before, Patriot J. I'm a communist with my family, a socialist with my friends, a Democrat with my community, a Republican with my state, and a libertarian with my nation. You ever heard that before?
First time.
Okay. So there's a quote. Naval repeated somebody else. Naval quoted somebody else on a Joe Rogan show, on a Joe Rogan Experience. And that's why I first heard it. And when I first heard it, I was like, somebody finally put words to what was in my head. Because that's what I was saying, was communism in theory isn't bad. It just doesn't work for large groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? For example, when you look at these communists, right? I remember I was in a Discord and I had a debate set up with a bunch of communists. And I was just like, you guys like communism, right? Yeah, we love communism. Communism's the way. Okay, good. All right. What are you doing right now to be a communist? Like, where's your commune? What do you guys do to cooperate other than fucking get on Discord and argue with people? They don't do anything. They don't grow their own food. They don't make their own clothes. They're all fucking capitalists. Like, if you were a true fucking communist, you'd be fucking making your own clothes, right? So in Hotepistan is a small population community that is self-sustainable, 100% self-sustainable, and we follow the rule of, you know, you eat what you only take what you have put in. So if you ain't worked today, you don't get nothing. You see what I'm saying? So to each his own. How does the Marx quote go? I always forget this. To each his own, based upon his labor or some shit like that. So that's the moniker of Hotepistan, where everybody's gonna work. You know, we'll be doing. We'll have science labs. We'll have farming, beekeeping. You know, but we're gonna have the women gonna be sewing their asses off. We're gonna have fire gear. We're gonna have some fire ass uniforms. Everybody's gonna have uniforms and shit.
Hell yeah.
You know, and it's gonna be a communist utopia. But we're gonna practice population control, where the population can't
gotta cap it.
Gotta cap it, because then after a while it's just too many fucking people. You know what I'm saying? And then we're gonna have like pre-pods. Like you're gonna go to a certain pod to prep to come to Hotepistan. So it's not as stringent, but it's going to prepare you. For example, you're not allowed to come to Hotepistan and talk about Republicans and Democrats. You just get kicked out. That doesn't exist in our world. Outside media doesn't exist in our world. You know what I'm saying? So this place came about because I wanted to detox people from Western society and the toxicities of Western society. So this is a place where people can come, lose weight, clear their mind, detox, and if you want to go back to that Western world, you can. So that's the dream. 4-hour workdays, I like that. 4-hour workdays, I like that. Troublemaker Jonah said you're making a watered down Essenes. Yeah, essentially. It's definitely like the Essenian community. I like the Essenian community. Jesus was an Essenian. Absolutely.
Man,
Absolutely.
I gotta look into the Essenes. I don't know too much about them.
Yeah, the Essenian community, they're like they were an offshoot of Jews, according to the little bit of research I did. They weren't like part of the Jewish community, but they kicked
Hmm.
it with them. It's complicated, and I'm
Did
not the
you
best person to
listen
explain it to.
to Prodigy's last album before he died?
Yeah,
It's my favorite hip hop album of all time.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm reminded of it because he's got a bar. He says like, I think my school thought it was like the Essenes, and some secrets are best kept sacred.
Mm. Mm. So he knows. He's a studied man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They took him out. My belief.
Quite possibly. Absolutely. He was very, very aware. His third eye was open. He was a Hotep.
Hmm.
Prodigy was a Hotep. His name's Prodigy. That tells you everything about him, right?
Right.
Paleo communism and communism is a different thing. Yeah. I guess this is neo-communism. I don't know. This is Hotep communism, Hotepism. I don't know. But I just use communism when I say it, it's just me usually just joking because it's triggering when people, because I talk so much shit about communism that when I say something positive, it usually catches people off guard. So it's more of a attention grabber. Like I want you to pay attention to Hotepistan and what we're building. So I call it a communist utopia so that people go, wait, huh? What? now I got your intrigue. You know what I'm saying? Because this project has to come about, and if I have your intrigue, then it'll come to light. But I actually do like communism though. I gotta be honest with you.
Nothing wrong with taking care of your people.
Yeah. I think I just like the dictatorial part of things. Right? Like the sweeping change. Like when I think about the black community, if I was like the dictator of black community, I would definitely be hated. I would be hated. I would. I'd be like, yo, like loving hip hop, gone.
Right.
Basketball wives, gone.
You cannot go on Instagram Live.
You know when shit would be banned? Like they were like, "Yeah, this nigga's no fun." Like, yo, right? Y'all having too much fun. Now get back to work.
Right.
You know,
Go read.
Go read a book. No live streaming unless you're reading a book. Live stream a book, bitch.
Right. Start your own book club online.
Yeah. So that's what I like about communism. The sweeping change, like this overnight change, even though they do a gradual change later on, but the Bolshevik was definitely like some very quick takeover type shit. And really, like, you really want change in the country, like some serious change, you definitely have to do some Bolshevik type shit. If you wanted to change America, it would probably take some Bolshevik shit, or a really good, fierce group of attorneys. I think a fierce group of attorneys could change America.
You think so?
They have to be fierce, and we'd have to give them a lot of security.
I don't know. I feel like change to the legal system takes too long. Because there's so many, I guess, like chain of custody you got to go through. You got to set precedent. And then there's just so many different, like legal venues. Like you got your state level, then you got to go through the feds, 50 different states, all these districts. It would take a long time.
Yeah. It would take a minute. But, you know, I would want to target borrowing from Walter Williams here. I'd love to target executive orders and start just rolling them back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like every year, you know, if we rolled back one executive order a year, that's better than nothing.
Right. I've always had the idea whenever I run for office, I'm going to campaign not on adding laws, but like just repealing already existing laws that are either useless or harmful. Yeah.
It's too many laws in the books. It's too many laws in the books. We got to take laws away, not add them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The law should just be easily accessible, easy to understand, and just point blank. Like, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah. You know, you look at a law book, you know, the code for just your state. Nigga, this shit's the size of a Bible. Nigga, I go outside and sneeze the wrong way, I'm gonna break the law.
Dog, for real, for real.
So,
And just practicing, I'm learning so many different laws. We had a client, my partner just made a video about this. The dude was charged with a felony because he put like wrapping tape over his license plate. Like you could still read the numbers on the license plate, but he colored it. That's a felony for tampering with your license plate. Like, why is that against the law?
Don't fuck with that state property.
Mm-hmm.
So how'd y'all get him off?
Gosh, I wish I knew the facts a bit more. My partner handled it, but
okay.
I think it was a situation. What we often do a lot of times is just really try to humanize our clients. Everyday courts see names on a piece of paper. We come in, explain their background. I think that this guy at the time had just lost his wife, so he wanted to try new things. And we explained that, okay, maybe he might have violated the law. He doesn't deserve to go to jail for any amount of time. Just give him a fine, make him take a class or something. There are other ways to remedy the situation and make the state feel like they got their win without throwing the man in jail.
Yeah. No, that's a good approach. What's the wildest shit you got somebody off for?
Well, I will say, I don't get people off. I might get them like really good deals, but a bad fact is a bad fact. I can't change a bad fact. I've had maybe a couple hundred clients. One of them I got completely dismissed because there were just no facts to stick against my client. But trying to think.
When you say facts, what do you mean by that? Evidence?
Yeah. Like the story of that guy was he was being charged with criminal threats, and then he had a previous strike, so they were trying to go after him hard because in California you only get 3 strikes or whatever. So they saw this dude. He was like probably my age, maybe a year younger, 25, 26, and they were saying he criminally threatened his mom's boyfriend because they got into it, I guess, in the morning. And what my client said, his mom and the girl, I mean, his mom and the boyfriend were arguing. He goes, checks in, sees what's happening. Now, the boyfriend calls the cops and said, he pointed a gun at me, threatened to kill me, blah, blah, blah. He later changes his story when he's speaking to an investigator a couple weeks later. And then it really helped us because the boyfriend didn't want to come and testify. So I said, look, also, this is crazy. Calls cops and says, pointing the gun. Cops come, do a search. They don't find the gun. No gun. You don't have a victim. What are we doing here? Dismiss this case, please. And they ended up doing it.
There you go. Patriot Johnny Cochran.
Man, I'm trying, man. I'm really trying. It's a fun gig. I'm helping people. I'm learning a lot about people as well, just like on a psychological level.
Yeah. Are you
people come to us when they're in their like deepest time of need. They trust us with their lives essentially.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty strong sense of responsibility, but it's fun. We're getting great results. I'm loving it.
Hold on, I'm trying to see if Cannon is rocking tonight. Yeah, here we go. I just want to make sure we got Cannon in there because Cannon's rocking after this. You're in Cali. Any crazy laws that you've seen on the books out there? Like, yo, I didn't even know this shit existed. This is crazy.
There was one law that I found out that ended up working to my benefit. I think the charge was, it was like, it's a crime to contribute to the delinquency of a minor.
What does that mean?
Exactly. What the fuck does that even mean?
Contribute.
But I had a client who, he got caught up with this girl. He was 18. Unbeknownst to him, the girl was 17. They were doing their thing or whatever. She goes to the cops. I'm like, they're trying to charge him with like child sex abuse. I'm like, dog, 17, 18. And California is one of these weird states. They don't have what's known as like a Romeo and Juliet law. So if they're within a couple of years of each other, other states are like, that's cool. But California is not one of them. However, I dug deep into the penal code, found out the contributing to the delinquency of a minor charge. I said, hey, let's just do this rather than child sex abuse. And we were able to do that and get a probation.
This nigga a genius. This nigga a genius.
So you gotta use those random ass laws to your advantage in my field a lot.
Yeah, he like, oh, I see what you're saying. So it might not be bad to get some of this stuff. It might be bad to get some of this stuff off because you might need that shit to get lesser shit to plead down to.
Right, exactly. Like it's pretty much a game of negotiation, except cases that end up going to trial and you need to like prove your innocence before the jury. Like if there are some sticky facts on the record and there's nothing that I can do about it, it's my job to try to mitigate those facts and see how can I play with the law? How can I skirt around this charge, find another one, or let me actually read the law that they're charging him with and see what the least amount of penalty could be.
I minimize that for him.
Yeah, my favorite are crimes that are known as wobblers. They can be charged either as a felony or a misdemeanor. I like to come in, get those wobblers reduced from felonies to misdemeanors. And then in California, we've got this thing called diversion, which I like to call a delayed dismissal. You apply for diversion. The judge either says yes or no, and then they'll put you on a diversionary period anywhere from 12 to 24 months. They might say, hey, obey all laws. It's like probation light, but you don't have to do any check-ins. They just say, obey all laws, maybe do some community service or take a course, come back 12 months from now, your case will be dismissed. And then I like that because there's no conviction on your record ever. And it's just like the case was thrown out entirely. So it gives people a chance to, I guess, pay their debt back to society without having their lives be completely ruined by having a crime follow them for the rest of their life.
Yeah, that's called a diversion.
Yeah, I had a lady, one of my rare female clients. They're like majority men, but I had a lady. She was leaving her home, and the cops were there for like some other stuff, not at her home, but in her neighborhood. So she's exiting the neighborhood. She goes to her doctor's appointment. She comes back from her doctor's appointment. Cops got her neighborhood blocked off. She lives in a bad area, so this happens a lot. She's tired of that shit. She's like, I got my son at home. I'm just gonna drive to my driveway. And then they were like, no. They chase after her. They try to arrest her. They get into a little tussle, maybe some legs were kicked, some spit might have come out of the mouth, blah, blah. And they actually arrested her for assault with a deadly weapon because they were trying to say when she drove past the officers that could have like killed them. And it's bogus, right? But I go to court. So she calls me after she's released and say, hey, I was arrested for this. We go to court and show up. They ended up charging her not with assault with deadly weapon because there was no evidence for that. They charged her with resisting arrest, 2 counts because there were 2 officers. And that's my least favorite crime because who the fuck wants to be arrested? Like, if you're gonna arrest me, dog, I might have some hesitation now. I'm not gonna be like, okay, sir, arrest me.
Yeah.
So, she had every right because they arrested her for some bullshit that they didn't even charge her with. She clearly was not trying to assault nobody with a deadly weapon, but they charged that as felony resisting arrest too. So I had to go in there. I talked to the judge. I said, reduce this shit to a misdemeanor. The judge said, sure, counsel. And then from there, I filed for diversion and had a diversion hearing. And the judge was like, all right, diversion granted.
This nigga good. This nigga
Man.
good.
My very first client, I get this man back in January of 2022. This is my first client. I'm brand new. I passed the bar I passed the bar in November, but I got admitted into the bar because I had to like do a whole ceremony at the court on December 30, 2021. And then so a couple days after January, we get this first client. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know what to do. I literally
Wait a
had
second.
no idea.
Cause ain't no way I'm hiring a nigga just out of school. I'm be like, hey, y'all got a senior rep around here somewhere?
No, nigga.
Who hired you? This nigga must have went to every attorney or something.
Man, shout out to my guy. He's from Compton. He was rapping and shit. So I felt like, oh, my first client is a rapper. This is perfect.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck to do. Anyway, I'm reading laws and shit, and I'm going to court, you know, kind of just getting a feel for it, the procedures. Pretty much every time I go to court, I'm like continuing it. Like, hey, can we come back a couple weeks from now, blah, 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 blah. As I'm continuing it out, I'm getting more experience with other cases. I'm getting a feel for things. And then his case ended up resolving in August. And what I was trying to do, he was charged with felon with a firearm. Cop stopped him. He had a backpack. Cops think there's a gun in the backpack. Cop gets out the car. My client runs. There was a gun found in the backpack. But I don't think anybody should have their life ruined for having a gun. We got the Second Amendment. So I love gun cases. I walk in. My goal is probation. I said, come on, bro, probation. Pretty much every time I go to court, the DA was like, nah. And I'm like, come on, son. So then I walk in. We even go to like preliminary hearing. We're like on the path to trial. I walk in one day. There's a brand new DA. I said, ooh, new DA, new opportunities. Hey, read this. I want probation. And she gave us probation 8 months later. So sometimes you just got like stick through it, fight, and it'll work itself out.
I remember I had this one case, and my attorney was mean. She was on point, and I had a total of 3 charges that I was going to court for at the same time, all traffic violations, and the third one was the worst one. I don't know what she said to dude, but he must have been in a good mood. That shit got dismissed, and that was my most egregious charge.
Nice.
I did more time on the other ones than I did that one. But yeah, sometimes, you know, you just get lucky. You get the right prosecutor there or the right DA, and shit works out.
Right judge, right prosecutor. I just I pray before every court hearing, and it just works out. We always say they're not our clients, it's God's clients, because it's God's firm. Because like really, he's the boss. We might on papers be the owner of the business, but we work for the man upstairs.
I like
so he
that.
brings us the clients that he knows needs our help.
The Rock and Roll Rebel show said they want you to come on this show.
Are they cool? You like them?
I don't even know who they is.
All right. Well, you got to DM me on Twitter at Sir Hottest, and then I'll think about it. If you had the Hotep Jesus sign of approval, it would have been yes.
I can't say I co-sign them. I don't even know who that is. Oh man, we about to go to Cannon, man. Thank you for standing in for Uncle Hotep, man. Y'all clap it up for Patriot J standing in for Uncle Hotep. Let's get some claps.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I loved it. It was really an honor, man. I was telling Olivia, I was like, man, I've been on Timcast. Like, niggas be hyped to go on Joe Rogan. I'm just glad to stand in on Hotep's Been Told You. Like, this is literally the only podcast I watch. I'm not a big podcast listener because I can't listen to podcasts when I work because my brain don't function like that. And when I'm driving, like, I prefer to listen to music. But if I ain't got nothing to do, Thursday night, I'm watching Hotep's Been Told You. I'm putting it on the big screen and just having a good time.
Salute. I appreciate you, man. Hey, we going to crash Cannon Hotep's channel. Make sure y'all go over to Cannon Hotep's channel. Hit Hotep in the box when you get there. The party don't stop. The Hotep party don't stop. So we going there right now. I'll see y'all tomorrow for the Grift Report, 2 p.m. I'm Hotep Jiz. This is Patriot J. We out of here, man.
Later.
Save the date if you not fake. HJ got a plate and a hot take. They gon' get you moving right. These goofy types and keeping unks goofy tight. Look, let's get it lit like a Lucy, aight? Show the world what we can build when the crew unite. And while these frauds out finessing your protests, I'm in the gulags playing chess with the Hoteps. The Hoteps been told you. Don't sweat, bruh, I ain't gonna hold you. Keep receipts for the things that they told you. Ears to the street, they got secrets to go through. The Hoteps been told you. Don't sweat, bruh, I ain't gonna hold you. Keep receipts for the things that they told you. Ears to the street, they got secrets to go through. Hotep and build, y'all know the deal. We go in for real and ain't got no chill. Teach me how to grift, teach me how to grift. Teach me how to grift, teach me